Morning. It is November 10th, 2025, and late last night or middle of the night yesterday, we had some good news that the shutdown is almost over. So there's a bill that passed Senate. It has not been fully approved just yet. So that's where we're going to get some of these back and forths, and pretty much headwind is going to turn into a tailwind. Other than that, you don't really have data this week. You have a couple of Fed people, and even if the government does get reopened, you are not going to get that data instantly. So other than that, you have NVIDIA earnings to look for. The other issue, because we're up here a little bit, but some people are a little hesitant because all of the AI CapEx stuff and all of the things we were dealing with last week. So I think it's going to be a nice balance. We finally had our little pullback. If this goes up enough, you may have people start talking about that Christmas rally. So I wouldn't be so quick to rush it, but overall, a lot of the developments over the weekend were good. So we'll see where that takes us after a week that was pretty lagging in terms of momentum. So other than that, Chattadonia, it's going to be a good day. Oh, we got a golden day ahead of us. Yeah, Pfizer is rocketing off of that news. So other than that, my friends, I hope you are locked and loaded. I do got a couple of plays and info to go over with you. We're going to get some of these. Hi, that's me. But before we do any of that, my friends, before we chase the dollar, before we try to enrich ourselves, we must pay homage to a very special group of people that has made a sacrifice that most of us never have and ever will. And I am talking about the veterans of the United States of America. So on behalf of the people here, I want to give a huge special shout out. Active service, past service, anybody who has served this country, God bless you and thank you for your commitment and sacrifice. And for real, man, if anybody should be owning the land, if anybody should be owning good quality assets, it should be you, my friend. I really hope that we can help y'all accomplish that. But at the end of the day, man, I really do hope you guys realize your discipline, your training, your involvement in this world and country. I think you're already prepared and trained for it. So I would utilize that. Take advantage of it. And at the very least, we just want to give you a thank you and let y'all know how much we appreciate y'all. And at the end of the day, too, I hope all of you who don't serve, and honestly, screw the internet, bro. I hope y'all show this in real life. I hope y'all bring this to life, and I hope you understand how important it truly is. I mean, appreciation, value. I said it the other day, man. Are these financial concepts? Exactly. So God bless you, veterans, and big shout out to your families as well. And big shout out to anybody else out there giving back to their local communities, doctors, nurses, teachers, firefighters, police officers, the janitors, the coaches, the garbage men, everybody making their communities run, baby. God bless you and thank you. But ladies and gentlemen, please rise up. Place your right hand over your heart. Say it with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, baby. Set the judge! So it's game time, baby. Horn! Let's go. I don't have any horn. Where's the bells? Oh, yes. What a beautiful. It's going to be a great day, dude. I don't know if anybody told y'all that, bro. It's going to be a beautiful day. It's going to be a magnificent day. It's all in the... Oh, it's in your palms, bro. You control it, brother. So good morning. Oh, man. Too hyped. Too hyped. I didn't even turn the screen back on. All right, we got 2 minutes. I got a couple of plays. I'm going to be watching K-Web, XLV. I don't know if you guys noticed, but all of this stuff revolves around healthcare. The fact that, like, people are getting, again, I can't believe people got pissed at the deal, but, there's people really, really fighting for a very specific deal, and it just reeks of healthcare and pharma subsidies. So watch XLV. I mean, they're the ones that are going down with all of this. You might see a bunch of winners out of the shutdown, and they may be the ultimate loser. And then keep your eye on China. We heard stuff about the port issues, as well as Kash Patel going and visiting. TSM came out with numbers, so keep an eye out there on the chips and Micron. Remember, NVIDIA is the other one. MGTX, I think they had a deal with Eli Lilly. XLP, ARTV, and then, no, is it XLO? I think XLR. I think I wrote that one down. And then watch Dio tap any. Dio got a new CEO, but there was, I think XLO. This is a biotech. Oh, I forgot to go over that with you guys. So yeah, I have the biotech list. XLO and ARTV. I think those have events this week. So we'll see in the next couple of days. And then you got that Pfizer stuff and everything in between. Oh, what up, Legal? You blessing them? And it is the Marine's birthday too, huh? Well, happy birthday, baby. Dude, I was trying to, my girl even asked me, I was explaining Marines and Navy SEALs. And then I was trying to explain, I was like, they put them on the beach and then the water wash up, and then I explained it terribly. But yeah, man, shout out America. Shout out all of y'all who serve, baby. All right, let's go, man. I hope y'all apply that discipline to the very markets you are at right now. But yeah, we got 1 minute. Give me a sec. I think I'll be back in time. Let's see, baby. Game time. So yeah, make sure you guys are all prepared. Watch your own platforms. There is a delay.
Praise God. Amen. It's a call, baby. Hey. Yeah. If we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. I've been there. I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you been scared. Big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, yeah, I've been clear. No fear. Oh dear, who you try to control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting. Nah, it's done. Daddy said it's finished. Made me in his image, but that always made me timid. Wonder why we different, don't you ever get it twisted. It's the only way we get it. Set apart from the start, and the heart isn't ours. It's a hippie with the love, but it's David with the sword. I want peace, so that means you gon' kill me if it's war. Need cheat, try to ski, can't beach on the arc. Want it easy or hard, want a genie or a god.
Round 1. Fight. All right, baby. So let's see where we're at. Oh, again, the spy. Want it easy or hard? Want a genie or a god? All right, a couple of premiums already popped. Damn, what the fuck happened to Netflix? I think that's a spread. Again, I think you have 2 more days till the spread, or till the thing goes. Yeah, they didn't even move. But yeah, I think you have 2 more days until the cutoff date for any of that split stuff. But it was very not talked about, if you think about it. That was like the least hyped split I've seen in a minute. And then you guys remember last week, the dynamic between either Staples or the Mag 7, one of them's going to lead. But NASDAQ opening up at 1.5, pretty big. Russell at 1.1, Dow 0.8. So those values are probably lagging. And SPY at 1.0. Let's see, where are we at with the equal weight? Equal weight's up by 0.45, so that's both good and bad for now. We'll find out here very shortly. And you got a big gap, and you're above 6,800. Yeah, and then keep your eyes out too. Anything with good earnings last week, that's what I'm saying. Keep your eyes on the ball with all that. Eli Lilly's ripping. You have $19. Yeah, they're up 2%. They're going off right off the gate. Who else was it? And then again, XLV, we'll see. Give it till the morning. Some of them aren't as bad as they should be, but I want to say one of them went down like 5 or 6%. Elf, that's the one from last week. So yeah, they had their 2 days of flushing out. Damn, it's already 10% off the bottom if you think about it. 71 to 78. Molina, Netflix doing good. Again, a lot of the spreads are like the premiums. They woke up with that bullishness, so be careful. It's either we're going to continue on up, or at the end of the day, that's just everybody getting excited. And then once this chills out, because again, you're pretty much having a headwind turned into a tailwind, but it's not fully decided yet. Yeah, HCA's down by 6. That could be it. I'm surprised, dude. I think like Cigna and all those, they should be down a little bit more. Some of them were in the pre-market. Eli Lilly keeps ripping. So let's take a look at those, if you could get those premiums. Oh, very big bid. Yeah, they're stupid expensive. CNC has the biggest exposure. Yeah, they're down 7 against CNC and then HCA. And then some might end up being winners, but no, like Oscar, that was back a couple months ago. They were seen as one of the winners. Again, some healthcares may struggle, some may benefit. That's the general idea. There's Micron up 7. Again, you had Jensen comments as well as the TSM stuff. TSM came out, quarterly update, or like sales update. Damn, 52-week high on Eli Lilly. That one's breaking out. I got Elf. You have a lot that the tech is doing good, but some of these individual names are really ripping here, especially if they had a bad week in the last like week or so. Let's take a look at Staples. Yeah, Staples are actually down right now. AMD, Walmart, Target's up, Walmart's down. Who else is there? What was it? No, Sprouts. Carvana ripping. Yeah, Sprouts got killed last week and then they're running up. Keep in mind that. Fiserv, I mean, you're watching Elf. Robinhood. I mean, feel free to check your own platform as well, brother. But yeah, they're up 5-2. They had news of, what was it? They're like offering like private companies in like a tradable fund, and then they purchased some company as well. Yeah, K-Web's ripping. I feel like you silently got a decent amount of news. But remember what we saw on Friday. If it hits that fucking wall, but because you had the port fee news as well as the what else? The Cash Patel going over there. Eli Lilly is still ripping. Yeah, Palantir was one of those two last week that got kind of washed there. And then watch financials. There's Amazonian and Apple too. So big tech, you're already up at 1.6. So first 5 minutes, that's continuing along. The Dow's trying to catch up. Only weird part is the equal weight. It's not really weird. It's just lagging behind here. So just keep in mind to start off, you know, people feeling good, but this is primarily tech driven. And people were worried about the CapEx stuff. So again, I thought as we were getting towards it, some of the shutdown stuff was getting a little bit more serious. There was still that overhang from all of the tech and post earnings, but I think you'll brush that off sooner than later. That could be why Meta isn't going up as much. But even then, they're up by 0.5, so better than dropping for now. SanDisk is up 8. Yeah, they're all fucking going. Even uranium. Hi. All right. It's so weird because look at the high-low ticker, man. You have, it's not like everything's only going up, but you do have a lot of juice right now. There's not been any further developments on pizza, no. They're just holding up. What was that other one? MGTX. That was the one with Eli Lilly this morning. Yeah, they're still going. Myragotix? I can't even say it. Oh, I haven't even looked at gold. Yeah, gold started off pretty good. Yeah, because, again, you were kind of in this range, so it's either gold is going to do another one of those cycles, or maybe it kind of gets pinned there, but I do think coming into end of the year, the dollar stuff and all that, gold might start to look good. And then there's Google. Google's up by 2.5. So remember, like we talked last week, even Amazon too. So these are going to lead the way. So just keep in mind, if they start to chill out, they're probably one's going to just switch out with the other and try to take their spot. Yeah, they still haven't confirmed the whole shutdown thing. It passed through the Senate. You need the full approval. And again, I mean, Democrats are very disappointed. I can't believe it. I don't even think, like Gavin Newsom, he called it pathetic. He didn't even call himself pathetic when he had to do a press conference to the world explaining how he cheated on his wife with his campaign manager's wife. So that's why I was shocked why they were so mad. I said, how is that possible? And then even Elizabeth Warren. You know, Elizabeth Warren, she rides more private jets than Uncle. It's facts. It's factual. But yeah, other than that, though, I think it should be good. Because like we talked about, if it doesn't... if it didn't end, I mean, the door is very wide open for a long one. So we will find out. Apollo to acquire majority stake in Atletico Madrid Football Club. All right, still going. Yeah, you already got K-Web selling off half of that. They all look very good, Habibi. What's the date today? The 10th? Yeah, bro, it's been a long time since I left you. GLTO halted on volatility. Oh, there's a couple that even just resumed. I like Albemarle, the premiums. Remember, just on Friday or Thursday, I noticed that they were still barely up. I think there's still some juice there. Yeah, Netflix is now going to Rokunian, Microsoft. Shit, I should have done on the other one. I got excited. Hold on, I'm looking for, I got a sweet spot. I'm away. I think it's too early right now, but there's gonna be a good one on the SPY. You gotta wait. But right now they're all too jacked up. So think about it, it's a very strong open here, but first pullback, it'll be good unless this first run up starts to just create a big gap. So we'll find out here, but other than that, I mean, I do think the if anything's gonna start slowing you down, it'll be people complaining about the AI spend. That's pretty much, that's why, like, even look at the metas and the oracles and all that. But even then, oracle's starting to run up there. That actually has a lot of value comparatively, if you go and look at it. I didn't even think about that. Again, they're bonds and that issue there. So if that's going to continue, then yeah. Tell me why. Let me see. AVAV and Vitis. Oh yeah. So keep in mind too, near the money versus out of the money. That was kind of the drama that we saw last 2 weeks really. So that's the thing, just don't forget, even though we're waking up with the good news, we don't know if we're out of the clear just yet. So keep in mind, because again, last week all of the out of the monies, remember, you're only making money on the near the monies. The skew has not been running up with that. Elf is still going, Disney, SanDisk as well, and even Micron. Yeah, some of these are up a lot. Reddit now finally going above your 200, and even Microsoft too. Microsoft up 1. Most of the other tech, Google, Amazon, they're up like 2.5, 3. Damn, Google's up literally 3% right now. Oh, where's Intel? Yeah, I was gonna say, bro, Intel and the shutdown stuff might be good as well. We were talking about focusing on the Mag 7, but remember, they were doing very good, and then yeah, they woke up too. Tell me why. GLT. Oh, what was the other one? Okay, XLO and ARTV, those are the ones. They're later this week. I keep forgetting that other one. Elf on the Shelf, you might start hearing that. You guys taught me that one. I didn't know what that was till I asked you guys. But yeah, Elf is just a makeup company that got clapped for now. But very soon you'll start hearing Elf on the Shelf. That gonna be shit. Yeah, that MGTX, they had a deal with Lilly. The options are terrible. You might have to go shares on that. And then there's Intel now waking up. Like I'm saying there, they had just remember, they had the good earnings and then all the momentum started slowing down, but they're like the pseudo Mag 7 as far as this rally's been concerned. And then the market is open on Veterans Day. Bond market closes, but yeah, you're still gonna have to deal with that. And then Celsius, they had the buyout. Rumble had news this morning as well, too. So Elf's up another 2 after going up 7. So that's doing very good. I feel like we haven't talked about Tesla. Remember last week they got the deal. On Friday, Bank of America customers cannot access balances, but it's fixed. Oh, I didn't hear about that. Bank of America. I feel like I haven't even heard about AWS stuff. We kept getting some more lagging last week, but it does seem like it has chilled out, or it's been a couple of days without hearing it. Bros as well, damn. So Chipotle still down, Sweet Greens, let's see. I don't know if it's all industry related. I think some of them are kind of doing their own thing today. And then Celsius coming right back up. They were up 5 and now they just moved there 2%. It took 3 days for your account to finish. No way. That's crazy. Yeah, I did not hear about that. And then Bitcoin's down after gapping up here to start. There's AMD now and Disney. Reddit. And then your boy Intel again. So first 15 minutes here, you've had 2-3 red candles. Just doing its thing, dog. Just doing its thing. An AMD, AMT. I actually haven't looked at REITs. Fed Muslim, I see economy has been pretty resilient. Indeed, brother, indeed. Financials are starting to come down. Staples are surprisingly the loser. And then there's K-Web, kind of hit the wall in the morning, but not much. But still up. But otherwise, tech is the, again, Mag 7. Your Amazon, your Google, those are the 2% ones. Now, granted, Meta is the lagger, but we'll see if he wakes up. Meta and Oracle, those are your like major laggers. I think Oracle is the biggest lagger of all of them. But again, some of them are already up too. Actually, in a weird way, Meta's up less. Global Foundries licensed 650V from TSM. And then Apple starting to go as well. Remember last week they had some big moves on that. MO. Oh, I feel like I haven't looked at MO in a minute. Ever since the earnings, bro. I still can't believe, what's it called? What the heck is that? ALLW? Okay, I can't even click. And then Zeta, up 3. All-weather ETF. Yeah, just a fund. But again, Zeta, whatever that is, 3%. Can't tell if it's news or just melting. Cog T, is that the one from the morning? Yeah, they had some phase 1 or phase 2 data, but they're up 100. That one's actually still going. Where's Pfizer after that? I remember Pfizer just started moving on the pre-market stuff with the CEO going on. And then now NASDAQ's up almost 2. I don't know. Will we have a 3% up day before we had a 3% down day? Kind of wild. Yeah, and the Dow is still lagging. I'll get you guys a checkup here in a little bit. Muslim consumer balance sheets are okay. The drone conference, I'm not too like involved in that. I would have to double check. I only looked at the biotech calendar to start. But I know there was a lot of drone comments last week from your boy. Well, I think it was the Sun, and then you had something from Department of War. And then Netflix starting to go. I want to say Meta and Microsoft are the ones still below like 1.5. I mean, all the staples right now. Remember, that was the bad theme in the last couple weeks. Just anything consumer related really was not on fire. I mean, it just goes, that's where the AI CapEx stuff comes into play, because it's just like you remove the AI spend from the economy. The economy did not do well. But then you add it in, and it looks like everything's fine. Woo! You got first place in the cook-off? Oh, let's go, baby. How was it? We ended up staying. I know. Mom's was not feeling it. Right, all the big tech still. You got a couple. I mean, just pay attention though. You still have downsides. So, how this day is going to play out, where we go from here, you still have a lot of room to go either way. You have green, you have red, and you have it in size. But definitely better than last week. I still don't know yet if your out of the monies are going to hit though. So that's still the thing we got to figure out. China allowed somebody to, was it Nexperia? There was one of them that China was like, yeah, you could start shipping. And I think, I don't know if one of them is related. It's either ASML or one of those other companies. I'm blanking on it. Then there's Microsoft now, then AMD, Verizon, and Roblo. Oh yeah, man, good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I like MO a lot, but, you know, just going back to the... I know this was a good rule that we kind of instituted in the last couple years. I think it's helped a lot of people, but then it could also make you miss out. But, you know, once we're already up on a play, I would tend to avoid it. So, you know, MO, I think our last purchase, it's a ridiculous amount still. So I like that stock a lot, but we haven't had an opportunity to pick it up here in a minute. And that's something I would look at too, you guys. End of the year, all the long terms, man. Just, you are going to be coming into the end of the year. Look at your cash balance. Look at what you got. And then just keep in mind, there's probably, I want to say 100 names that are down. Let's see. Do you guys want to calculate it? As we get down to VWAP, a couple of the China names and XPEV are going up. Nvidia.com. Year-to-date returns. Component returns. All right, that's your first set of reds here now. Back to VWAP. Just gave up like, what, 10, 15 minutes of gains right there. So not too bad. Yeah. Oh, look at how many you have. So let's see. I think I could just calculate it off of here, right? So 283. So yeah, you have what? I think you have like 280 something names or 220 names. 220 names are down on the year. And then if you want names down, let's see how many are down more than 20%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 30. You got 70 names that are down 20%, give or take. So yeah, man, I check this out. This is that Slick Charts link. I'll post it in the chat for you. But that's a great way to shop. So yeah, that's definitely something I'm going to keep in mind towards end of this year, coming into next. Because remember, just like you saw how we came into this year, it's the humiliation exuberance. You know, a lot of times that doesn't happen every time. Like gold, that was one that was exuberant, but then it still had another back-to-back year. So that could definitely happen. But just keep in mind, you know, some of these trends, the rotation, and if it's really did 1 year, 2 years that are really bad, it'll tend to have a good one coming up. I mean, that's word to China. Muslim, we have adequate information to make policy decisions. That's funny. He sounds very different than a lot of the other Fed people. Eli Lilly again, bro. 970 up 5, and it's at the 52-week high. Meta's starting to try to climb there. Hasn't broke out. Wasn't there a headline with Bristol Myers last week? Yeah, Bristol Myers starting to wake up. I forgot what they have. That's a biotech, though. Lilly, it's almost at all-time high. It has a little bit more work to do, but it's there. Yeah, BMY is moving up. Again, that's a biotech. I forgot what they had last week. There was something with it. And then back to VWAP. Muslim. GFI. I'm looking looking for GFS. Mobileye getting a stick down. And then Intel above 39. Pfizer. Yeah, I like the poop comment, but Tyler, you were complaining last week about the delay. So you don't, nah. We're not tight, bro. We're not tight. I don't think. I think you misread the scenario. Get a long term. Thank you. All right, let's check here. Okay. It just spreads on K-Web. China's moving a little bit. But yeah, the spreads are still wide. Apple, Palantir, Baba's the one selling off. What in China is doing good then? Is it Baidu? Yeah, some are just holding up better than not. And then Baba has the biggest weighting. IBM, remember there was a lot of that quantum stuff. There you go. IBM just took a candle. There was news on IonQ. They got some deal today with the university, but then they did pretty bad off of it. It seemed like it was to sell the news. Yeah, Bitcoin gave up most of it. I mean, it started off very strong this morning. And then gold is climbing up to, I haven't looked at the dollar. Dollar's still up. XLV. So again, it's like CNC, HCA, Oscar. A couple of the ones with like direct exposure to the subsidies got clapped. But then I think UNH, Cigna, and all those did pretty well. I mean, those guys might even go green right now. Muslim financial conditions are very accommodative. Stock prices, house prices are elevated. I'm pretty sure Michael Burry called Palantir stupid. I don't want to start the beef, but I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure Michael Burry said, I'm smarter than Alex Karp. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. You got to look it up. I'm just saying, but. Yeah, IonQ and University of Chicago. That's who it was. I mean, I was shocked at how many Democrats were disappointed by a deal last night. I think a lot of them, even Chuck Schumer, they went out. Even again, Gavin Newsom, he was saying it's pathetic. But I mean, I made a really big deal about the SNAP benefits and everybody and all that. So I thought they would have been happy, but they did not want the caving. I'm surprised though. Like I was telling you on Friday, I thought they were gonna I did not think they were gonna get any closer to it, and I thought they were gonna just play this game back and forth. But that was a pleasant surprise. Are we calling the Dems tacos now? No, just psycho. That's all. Not taco, just psycho. The whole time, bro. Are you gonna spend a month and a half complaining about the government blaming it, and then it gets open and you gonna cry about it? The fuck? And a lot of it is still mad. I don't even know if the plane thing is gonna be resolved though. So I don't know. Even if they approve this deal, I think it is gonna give funding till like the end of the year. But then that's the other irony of it all. The deal is only till January 30th. So that's it. It's just gonna fund certain programs that are necessary to the end of the year. So it'll like military, SNAP, I believe, and a few others. It won't fund, it'll put up for vote the subsidies for healthcare, but then that's it. But that's just till January 30th. So this would just buy people time and then make sure that the next shutdown was not so painful for military, SNAP, and a lot of other communities and groups. Google again. Yeah, it'll get through January 30th and all over again. But then the good part is, like, if they approve this deal on the table now that just passed Senate, is that on January 30th, if there was another shutdown, it's not going to shut down the military. It's not going to, you won't have to deal with this stuff with SNAP again and all of that. It'll make sure some programs, I think, get funded till 2026. So I think it would buy some time and make it a little less painful. But I'm not too sure on that. Even then, we don't even know if, so technically, even though they had that deal last night and people were getting excited about it being over, it's still technically not over until it gets approved. There's Nivda. Good morning, Nvidia of 4%. Hi. I think the pre-run up, I mean, we had it for a second. It was there, but I think it just applies to the same Mag 7 theme. So today's gap up might fuck up the premiums. My only issue, I just don't know if the out of the monies are going to work. Yeah. So that's the only problem. That's what I'm saying. Like, pre-run ups on out of the money might go up. There will be some of the, like, premium going up. But yeah, it's after what we saw the last couple weeks, it'll be hard to tell. I don't know if you could play arms. You can, I mean, that's up to you, but I just don't know. Like I'm saying, premiums are weird after the last couple weeks, so I would approach at your own risk, and that'll be the risk to reward that you take. Visa, there's something with Visa and MasterCard this morning. I keep seeing AMT, but none of the other REITs, I don't think they're going up. And then your 50-year mortgage. So that's going to be both good and bad, because then everyone... But remember, this was an idea under Biden as well. You guys remember that, right? You don't remember in, like, 2021, we were talking 50, 60-year mortgages? Because I know somebody floated this idea. So that was kind of Biden era. But that would just make how the loans amortize, you're going to spend way more on a property if you fucking take it to 50 years. But it will make it where people could buy homes a lot, like, qualification-wise. Because think about it, your payments are going to get cut in half. So now, a little bit, it'd be like 60% or like 40%. So if you had like a mortgage that would cost you $5,000 a month, will go down to like $2,000 or $3,000 a month. Yes, they have those in Japan, but then Japan also had deflation, and then you could buy a house for $1 in Japan. So it's kind of a bad sign. They do a lot of like Europe and I think Switzerland has 50 or 60-year mortgages as well. It's common in other parts of the world, but for America, 15, 30-year, that's been our thing. All right, there's Tesla going up, and even XPEV, that was one of the China ones. XPEV is up 10 for crying out loud. And then watch, you kind of hit the wall on China. They're chilling out, but we'll see where that goes. There's Palant, that one's still running up. Let's go back to Elf and Lilly. Those are the ones that really opened up strong here this morning. Yeah, IBM just woke up on that one candle and still going. You're either up 3% or more today, or you're like right below 1.5. We do, you know what? We do have the 40-year. They just started. They did the 40-year kind of like at the end of Biden, but like people just didn't use it. Like it wasn't really normalized as much. So that's it. That's the other thing too. You could get a 50-year mortgage, but it may not be popular. Nah, the checkup right now, 16 green, 14 red on the Dow. NASDAQ 60 in the green, 40 in the red. So that's what I was saying. Look at the low ticker. It hasn't stopped. So you still have a decent amount of names pulling against. There's a lot of room to go either direction today. And then 214 green, 280 in the red on the SPY. You actually have more names red. Yeah, we could do a mortgage example later, not now. But yeah, I'm down to go over it. The tariff, I mean, I think they're just hyping you guys up. on the tariff dividend. Because, like, even Besant said it. He was like, well, maybe it'll come in the form of a tax benefit. And then none of the kids get gifts and Hovel. But, yeah, so we'll see. But I think it's just going to be like it's like BBB shit, like where you get the tax break and stuff like that. That's what I think they're going to do. Oh, MetLife is moving up, and Meta. Pharaoh of 42. Core Weave, it'll be a big mover. But then that's pretty much my thoughts on it for earnings. It's either going to rip or die. But that doesn't mean go both ways, because then remember this earnings season has been it's been baffling for many, but it's something we've also witnessed in the past. So maybe think about what happens in like 2 weeks after the earnings, and then whether or not, as long as it's not bad, as long as it's not something materially that you can't avoid or it's like ugly. Well, if the 50-year mortgage gets popularized and people really use it, it'll increase demand. But then at the same time, you're like going against, it's like slowing demand, hard affordability, and then you'll like get a boost. So it's kind of like cutting rates while the economy is slowing. It's going to have both good and bad effects at the same time. But in theory, it should greatly elevate demand, or it's going to open up, home buying and make some first-time loans a lot easier. Lily! Oh, man, that one's killing it, bro. So even then, there's some premiums. I'm going to go back to those in the morning. Let's see how those played out. But even from 2 weeks ago when we talked about it, those would have been fire. Okay, they leveled out some of these. Yeah, but some of them didn't move, though, from the morning. You gotta be careful. That's the only problem. Oh, wait. No, those ripped, actually. Oh, fuck. Oh, there was one. Okay, I was like, no way. Yeah, there was a secondary one that fucking ripped on Lily. My goodness. That's fire. Yeah, there was one that was 50 cents in the morning. It went to like $3. I didn't think that was gonna hit. I mean, that's been the case for the last like 2 weeks on this. Well, I was just saying, it could get popularized on the 50-year, depending on if they like incentivize it, depending on what if the FHA starts giving them out. That's the game changer. Really, you may not have it picked up by Arquite and UWMC right away. But then if the FHA, starts giving them out, that'll kind of change it. Speaker Johnson, nightmare is finally coming to an end. GLTO, what the fuck is this? Galecto up 400%. Equal weight about to be red. Well, yeah, dude, you have more name. You have 280 red on the SPY right now. So again, the Dow is pretty weak. Dow might even go red when it's all said and done. But yeah, you're still kind of just being lifted by tech. So we're not out of the woods just yet. That's what I'm saying. I think it was a good sign. It was feeling good, but I would be prepared for one more pullback, or if it takes another week to shake off kind of how we started this month. I mean, I do think that's still in the cards. We'll call House to return to DC when Senate's done. He says he wants vote as soon as possible. Root and shop on the high. They don't want to have earnings. Microsoft yen. crazy, actually. Baidu. Yeah, Baidu's waking up. See if it takes all the other ones. Baba just flushed, though. So Baba's, I think, the only one in the red, and then the smaller cap China's doing good. Yeah, UNH. It's Oscar, CNC, HCA. Those are the losers so far. Data Kel, Bonda High. Tesla. Bro, Nvidia is like a quiet 4%, man. Most of it's the gap up. Again, they had headlines too related to TSM and Micron as well. And then there's gold now breaking out a little bit more, and Microsoft. Everything's still pretty solid. I mean, granted, it's all tech and tech auxiliaries, but you have 280 names on the red still. But again, after last 2 weeks, I mean, a day like this is welcome. But it's still early. 20 minutes till the top of the hour. Qubits now on the high again. IonQ had it. MP2, they had earnings last week. That one's still going. Yeah, Intel. All right, SPY's ripping through. Yeah, the only thing I like about the 50-year mortgage is getting into a home. I would not want to pay it for 50 years, though. You know, I would refinance it to a 30 or a 15, but, you know, again, for some of you, it would allow you to get into a home, like, much, much more easier, but, you know, ideally, you wouldn't want to. The only thing is that if it gets really popularized, it brings back something I told you guys back in the COVID era. Because when I was explaining it to you, when like the rates started going up, it was like 2021. Just, you know, if higher rates go in, that's the banks are saying something. You know, if they start giving mortgages, you know, how it amortizes, it tells you something. That's what I was saying in 2021. These banks giving these loans, like in a weird way, yeah, people are buying them and that says stuff. But then it's also like, that's implying that in 30 years, you know, the banks are believing a certain thing is going to happen. They either think it's worth the risk to take it, or they believe the valuations will be there. You could get a 50-year loan and then pay it sooner. Yeah, that would be ideal. That's pretty much how you'd want to do it. You would want to use it to get in the door, but you don't want to stay on a 50-year mortgage. That's insane. That'll eat your fucking equity. That low payment's nice until you fucking have no equity. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like a reverse mortgage. Reverse mortgage is negative amortizing. So that way, you don't have to pay the payment, but then it gets added to your principal. So then the equity is just getting eaten alive. So in this case, the higher interest, if it's higher rate plus, you know, 50 years of interest, that's gonna, after I think you're gonna spend 25 years paying interest, and then the next 25 is paying down principal. That'd be insane. So you'd spend now the life of a normal mortgage paying down the interest, essentially. I think it'd be longer, actually, because then it would probably get more interest. The principal would go up substantially. Yeah, you pay way more than the house is worth, but that's with a normal mortgage, too. That's what I remember when I explained that to people, because you have people who don't understand it, and they'll be like, why would I pay that much? I'm like, motherfucker, everyone's been doing that. And you're gonna sell the house before then or anything else. Eli Lilly going up. I like them, but I don't want to take. They're too crazy, bro. But then I keep fading them after that shitty call out, and then they keep fucking going up. So yeah, that's all you boys. You guys want one? I could give you one. Try to do this one. Recommendation. I'm not taking them. Have fun. maybe worth it for a rental. Yeah, but I wouldn't stick with a 50-year loan. I think for all of you, I'm not against it, but I would use it as entry level. That's how you get your starter home. That's how you get in the fucking door, build credit, build rental, or build a mortgage history. Allows you to get a home while qualifying, you know what I'm saying? A lot easier. But yeah, the moment those fucking rates drop or anything and you could refi out of it, I would. And I would go to a normal 30 or a 15 year. I mean, that's the thing. They're not going to treat it like a no-doc loan. It's just going to lower your payment, making it easier for more people to qualify. That's it. So now, because again, remember, Dodd-Frank, 60-40, it's now the people who are just out. If you can't qualify for a certain amount, you know, then you'll get the other one. Why are you telling us about a position? You've been pumping Bitcoin and that's not, this is long-term chat, brother. Yeah, Tim already telling you. Better get with it. Get with the program for the program get with you. If they had extra to pay the principal, they wouldn't do those loans in the first place. No, that's incorrect. This is the issue I've explained for half a decade, if not longer. I just wasn't on YouTube. But a lot of people could get a home, but because of Dodd-Frank and the qualifications and the 2 years income and a lot of other things, it makes it extremely difficult. So I know a lot of people, especially even in the chat, a lot of you could afford a home. A lot of you can. But if you don't have 2 years of the history, or you deduct too much, or there's so many ways that it could work against you, you would qualify for way less. I know, again, you could go make $1 million today and you still would not even qualify for a loan. You would have to either pay extremely large down payment, or you still would have a limit on what you get qualified for. That's the reality. That's why I tell you guys, go get pre-qualified. Go look and start this process now so you can understand where you're at with it. But yeah, that's the whole idea is pretty much fighting. It's fighting Dodd-Frank. It's making it so that people who have good income and good other stuff and now with the higher prices of homes, they're just legally, you can't qualify them. So if you cut that payment by 30-40%, that's going to open up that window. You can account the college, yes, but even then, whatever your income is at, though, that you 60-40, and if you have a school, you have a loan, anything, yeah, it does. It's very hard for business owners to get a loan. That's why you have to you have to make a corporation. You got to build your own company, give yourself payroll, and do all of that. But so that's what I'm saying. It's like stuff like this. It's gonna make it easier. Where now, if the business owner or the first-time buyer, he has his 2 years, but then he also has debt and other things. Where if Dodd-Frank would have limited it, it's gonna at least give him a window to get something, that they wanted. As opposed to, you can make X amount, and then based on these rules, you're gonna be, what do you mean? Well, you'll be surprised at what you'll qualify for. Well, that's why I tell him make a corporation, and it's still gonna take 2 years. That's the shitty part. So like if you make good money as a business owner and can't get good qualify, or you could do like business loans and other stuff, but they're going to require more down payment. But then you make a company and just you put yourself on payroll, and then that way whatever you pay yourself is going to be what you'll qualify for. Well, that's the thing, man. I'm telling you, a lot of you can qualify for homes. And depending on the level that you're gambling, trading, God knows what else, I mean, the money's there. Like I said, I looked at a couple situations for some people, and it's just like, dude, if you could get an FHA loan and you already have worked for a certain amount of times, that's kind of why the gambling is so detrimental. I don't think a lot of people realize, like, you're way closer to a home than you think if you wanted it. But that's up to you. Pfizer got them at SAR. I don't know why they flipped. They were hyping it up pre-market, but yeah. And Eli's still holding. Yeah, no, you can't. You have to do it as income. Unfortunately, that's the thing for business owners too. And this is for all of you. Is you're gonna be tempted to write off everything. So, if writing off things are nice, you're like, oh, I could get this, I could get that, and like you write off everything, and then you don't have to pay that much in taxes. But then you're not gonna qualify for a lot. That's the little trap there. And then that's why I always say, like, some of you guys who work W-2, you've been paying your taxes and all that, but since you already paid your taxes, it's a lot easier for you to get a home loan on a W-2 income that's more like, stabilized for the last like year and a half, 2 years. Yeah, 50-year, you would pay way more than the purchase price, but that's why we're saying I wouldn't really hold it that long. I would, you refinance, but I think it's going to be great for entry level to get in there. But yeah, I mean, that's up to you. Costco? What the fuck? I thought it was about to be a knife. Trump tells Supreme Court it continues to seek halt of judge's order required to fully fund this month for SNAP. I heard this idea. I kind of liked it. They said give the SNAP to everybody who needs it, but then just make everybody reapply. So then that way you could kind of go through and vet them and make sure that it's going to the right places. If you do, I think you could plant for puts if you do think it's going to go down. I think we have one more pullback left in store. I just don't know when. So that's why I say I think this whole negotiation process is going to be bumpy, essentially. So the next bump, right now you're feeling good. We're getting like, okay, yeah. And then I think you're going to move forward and then get a couple bumps. Well, that's why, because some states, they refuse to send their SNAP data. So I think they said they were willing to like approve it if they sent the data over. And I think 22 states rejected it. They did not want to send the data that they have. But I think a reapplication, it raises concerns of like discrimination and other stuff. That's kind of the issue. But if you make everybody reapply and like you give it to the pure necessity, I mean, I think that would alleviate a lot of concerns for a lot of people. But it is a lot more work, and again, it opens up doors for discriminatory rejections and acceptances. Netflix and Meta now. A-Tech and A-Rec. Costco, I don't know what that is. It's still going lower. DraftKings on the high. They had a bad week last week. It came up. Gold is still running 2% on the Nasdaq, man. So Russell chilled out. He almost lost half the gains there from the morning. SPY's still up, but again, equal weight just barely at open. So this is still primarily tech. I mean, Amazon, Google, Nvidia, 3-4%. You guys are calling out Pfizer. That started off good. Now it's flipping. But most biotechs are up today. I think XBI is like slowly coming down, but yeah, and then Palantir taking off, and Netflix. Bidunius and Nvidius. Well, yeah, I mean, we've talked about it a lot last week. There's a lot of people just fraud. Like, come on. We watch people do a lot of fraud on the fucking PPP loans. But there was a report this weekend on, this was in Tim Walz County, his country, in Minneapolis. But there was like these 2 or 3 food places that they got government grants to feed the hungry, right? People who couldn't afford it, and they were each given like anywhere from like $1 to $12 million, and then they said they were feeding thousands of people. Yeah, bro, they were feeding 40 people a month, and then they were using AI to like make a name generator to fake the fucking meals. They're like, yeah, we gave it to, they would just create names. Yeah. So that's that, and they put fucking cameras outside. they literally like watched it, and they're like, this is a pure fraud, and we're talking like, yeah, several $1 million. I think it was a couple hundred people in a month. So they didn't even feed that in it. I don't think they were feeding that in a day. I think it was in a month. That's the crazy part. But yeah, so shit like that, bro. You know, everybody's aware of it at this point. The question is if you want to act like it doesn't happen. But we've seen it too with our, you know, I think COVID was where it just bursted open with the government money fraud, and everyone's like, holy shit, we should just take it all. Oh, man. I did see that $1 property. I think they just wanted to, what's it called? I think it's like, we saw somebody do that in another county. And I think they do it to, it's like kind of like an auction. Tesla. Mr. Elon. LEU energy name down 2. And then NVIDIA running. NVIDIA's up almost 5%. That's the crazy part, because we're like up a lot on some of these tech names, but you would think like, yeah, just there's a lot of drag still. Because like, so yeah, the big tech names are really, really moving at like very large margins today, but that's kind of scary, because then if they chill out, then you didn't really do much. I mean, that's word to the equal way. Trump officials say Supreme Court should keep food aid on hold. Alright, man. It's been an hour. Just shy of it. 16 million, 17 million. Pretty big. Good morning. Welcome back. A flying car? No, Elon, I don't know. He's offered it for a while. It's a cool car. I remember when I first saw the Roadster. I think his pay package is very interesting, because it's all or nothing. A lot of people keep framing it. They're like, Elon's pay package could feed the world. And it is true, but he did offer the money and they didn't give him a plan. But then the way the pay package works, it's like if he doesn't reach 400 billion in EBITDA in like what, 10, 20 years, he gets nothing. So it's a very interesting, it's all in options. So if he doesn't get those accomplishments, it's not really, he gets zero. My only concern that nobody talks about, because they're like, why would he create this company if he's not going to own it and everybody could push him out? But like, let's be real, he had majority stake. He just sold it on your head. That's the problem. That's the part no one's talking about. It's like the situation he winded himself in, he did it on his own. So it's not like, and then again, his brother owns some of the stock and all of it. They used to own so much more, but they sold it. So I don't know. That's the only thing I feel like people haven't discussed. They either criticize him for how big it is and not understanding it, or they like love him and support him. But then I'm just like, I remember all these years, bro. He was dumping. So he owned his controlling stake. He gave it away. So I do feel his sentiment though, like, you know, on the precipice of really big things, you know. That's kind of I see where he's coming from, but then it's not like this happened out of nowhere. Air traffic controllers must get back to work now. Anybody who doesn't will be substantially docked. Donald Trump. For those air traffic controllers who are great patriots and didn't take time off, I will be recommending a bonus of $10,000 per person for distinguished service to our country. For those that did nothing but complain and took time off, even though everybody knew they would be paid in full shortly in the future, I am not happy with you. You didn't step up to help the USA against the fake Democratic attack. That was only meant to hurt our country. You will have a negative mark, at least in my mind, against your record. If you want to leave service in the near future, please do not hesitate to do so, with no payment or severance of any kind. You will be quickly replaced by true patriots who will do a better job at the brand new state-of-the-art equipment, best in the world, that we are in the process of ordering. The last administration wasted billions of dollars trying to fix antiquated junk. They had no idea what they were doing. Again, to our great American patriots, God bless you. I want to be able to send your money fast enough. To all others, report to work immediately. God bless America, President Donald J. Trump. Yeah, that's coming out now. That's pretty funny. I mean, dude, there's been some other plane shit, though. I think there was a near collision at LAX the other day. Pizza. All right, get ready for a pizza rumor. Damn, up 9%. Remember, we have free. I think they halted it. I don't know if that's unhalted or not. We already have the free ones. Again, keep it. Again, you have those free ones, but yeah, they halted. They halted. Damn, they halted that fucking instantly. Hot dog. Pizza. Yeah, we still have some though. That's remember I was saying how they were still up. Yeah, I don't see a headline yet. Just halted. So that was 9% before any headline. So you're gonna get something on the rumor. IBM is going down. UPS on the low as well. Tesla on the high. Papa John's halted. Close to 65 with Tryon Capital or Tri Artist. Who the fuck is that? I don't know who that is. I know like Earth Capital, I barely know that unless that's the subsidy that they created. But yeah, they're saying $65 a share. I don't know if that's legit. So we'll see. But geez. And a pizza party for everyone who hasn't missed a day. Tesla. It's a UK source. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's really weird. So it might move it, but I'd be careful. Again, we already have our fucking free plays. But that's what I'm saying. What do you mean $65 a share? I was just telling you the price. So it's still a possibility, but I would approach that one very cautiously. It's circulating now, but interest, because remember Earth Capital, that's the one. So we'll say. It's a New York-based middle market private equity firm. Try Artisan. Should we call them? It sounds like a food. It sounds like a fucking pizza bread. Try Artisan. Try our new Artisan crust with cauliflower. The fuck? For $65 a shit? What? Private company. Oh shit. Oh wait. Yo, it's linked to TD Cohen. Jesus, bro. Yeah, it's tied to TD Cohen and a bunch of other funds. I have a crazy fucking chart of it. Yeah, so try Artisan. It's from Cohen. It's a subsidiary of Cohen Investment Manager, and that's from Cohen and then TD Waterhouse. So it's actually a big fund, or at least it has big. It's like pretty much a shadow bank of TD. Let's see what they hold. It's legit. I've never heard of them. That's what I'm saying. They were not in the running for any of these. They have 1.2 billion assets under management. Number of clients. They have 11 clients. 2 corporations. All U.S. I don't know what they have. They have 3 holdings. I can't see it though. Creating culinary company. It doesn't show me what they own. Tesla, 2 manufacturing executives leave. Is it P.F. Chang's Hooters? That's what I can't see it, but they own 3 companies. I just don't know who. Wait, what? Are they the guys who just bought Denny's? I think something, or I think they tried to buy Denny's. And then July, I think they bought Hooters. Yeah, they bought Hooters in 2019. So this is, and they bought, yep, I see it. They bought P.F. Chang's in 19 as well. They sold a pharma company in 2019 as well. So yeah, I think they're buying Denny's, bro. Yeah, they're the guys who bought Denny's just recently, the other day. So it's right up their alley. This could be legit. I guess I'm still doubtful. I did not hear about them prior. That's where people could be making the rumor. They just bought Denny's and all that, but that's a lot of capital. But then again, Denny's was pretty cheap. This is cheap too. Oh, and the peach! The peach is consistent. Oh, no. Oh, Bradley Frizzle. Try Peach Capital. How about that? We should tell them about the peach. They might make an offer. It's food related. It's food they own. Hooters, Denny's, and the peach, maybe? That could be part of it. I love it, baby. Good morning. I hope you had a good weekend. It's Monday. Qualcomm on the low. Pizza. Yeah, it's still halted. Management and board. Gerald Cormack. On Friday, someone bought a lot of pizza options. I can't get a phone number on the dude. I wanted to call him. In the past, he worked as senior member of Lehman Brothers. Trupanian. All right, SanDisk going up, but now I think you're starting to give back just off the margin of the big names. Like, look, Apple's giving up like 1%. Microsoft, they actually weren't in the list. Who's the other guy? Oh, Amazon. Cool. Yeah, Amazon gave up 2. Google's the only one holding. United Airlines Delta offering flight attendants extra pay to pick up flights. You guys see Elizabeth Warren? Bro, she literally made a video like criticizing private jets, and then she literally gets off of a private jet. You can't make it up, bro. I love it. All right, man. SPY going down. UAL is actually dropping off of that headline. Pizza halted. You have an interesting rumor. I would definitely label it a rumor. So, yeah, we'll see. Payo? Yo, Pioneer Global 2.7. It looks like you have something. It's a small cap. Up 3.7 now. Yeah, whatever that the fuck. I don't know what that is. They filled me. I'm very cheap. Pioneer Global. I think this is all just Amazon and fucking, as long if Google gives up, that's bad. But that's what I was telling you. I was like, man, you have a lot of big movers today, but it's not like it's super duper strong. So yeah, if any of those that were up 3 or 4 give it up, I mean, you're gonna feel it, but it's not gonna necessarily change too much. So yeah, you're just right back up to open. 7 hours to nowhere. Okay. GSAT again. Lulu on the low. I have no idea what that payo is. They're just dirt cheap. They're actually up. Man, they filled one below. Little scammers. So yeah, be careful. I wouldn't buy those after they moved. I got them for like 2 cents or something. So be careful. Where payo, yeah, there's nothing on that. Pizza. All right, pizza's unhalted. Yeah, they're not. Even then, though, that just brought to life all of the shitty contracts. Some of those shouldn't be going. Again, it's above that range I told you. So yeah, be careful on that, but it's moving. Situations we're long term. I mean, if they'll give you a cheap one, it's just that pricing of it is very odd. And then not to mention, none of these rumors ever happened for the last like 20 years. That's the other caveat to that. All right, SPY's still going down here though. Again, I think it's just more big tech. Low ticker is getting pretty active though. You're 15-15 on the Dow. It's literally 50-50. NASDAQ slipped up a little bit now. Actually, more names are red now on the NASDAQ. Previously, it was 60% in the green. And then SPY's at 320 in the red. So a majority of the names are lower. Rise. RVMD. XBI gave it up. Even XLV is doing way better than it should though. K-Web's actually chilling. To add pizza. Well, we just traded the options. I don't know what you mean for the long term though. Like I said, if it goes below a price, but so I don't know. Don't give me credit for breaking rules. I'm not down. It could be fake. It could be fake on pizza. Like I'm saying, I don't know who Tryin is. We did our little research, but I know who Tryin is, not Artisan. But yeah, it's still they kind of came out of nowhere. I think people are just tying in the fact that they've bought some of these companies. Like it tracks very well. Hooters, and then they just bought Denny's, but yeah, we still don't know. Even then, Earth Capital, that's the main one that I've been tracking, and that's like more legitimate than not, but still. No legit sources are confirming it. I mean, yeah, it wasn't on some like UK website. But don't they go to jail if they lie on the internet or something? I don't know. I'd have to look into that. Trump, all money left over from 2000 payments. Wait, what? He's talking about the tariff thing. Please hold. I think that's new. Yeah, Trump says all money left from the 2000 payments made to low and middle class citizens from massive tariffs incoming will be used to substantially pay down national debt. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Is he serious about this? Yeah, bro, I think they're actually, I don't know how long. I don't know if this is also just like, if this is like bring up the fucking approval rating, but I don't, is he really about to give the $2,000 checks? Because he's saying he's going to give it to certain people and then anything else is going to go to pay down debt. That's literally True Social 2 minutes ago. I mean, snap on the high. So watch, I think that little candle might be from that. Because if the more serious that gets, people are, because you guys know it's going to fucking happen, right? Let's be real. If they give a $2,000 stimulus check, what do you think, even if they give it to low income Americans, what the fuck is gonna happen? Do you know? It might be inflationary, it might not, but you don't know what's gonna happen? Fucking inflation. Tell me exactly what they're gonna buy. Tell me exactly where it's going. I could tell you where it's gonna go. It's gonna fucking go to gambling and then hot money stocks. That's it. At least half of it. And then a couple of other things. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna, I think it's gonna go to gambling and other and crypto. I don't think it as much is gonna go to what it's needed for. That's the usual theme. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I mean, I do think it's a very interesting idea, but I think this goes back to the BBB. They're running this economy hot. That's it. It's a golden age or not. The big beautiful bet. That's what I was saying when I saw the BBB. I said this is insane. That's why I'm surprised even Democrats are like fighting it, because I'm like, y'all are getting paid. What's wrong with y'all? It's actually crazy. Maybe a little bit of Uber Eats, DoorDash. But we'll see. I think you need that to become more serious of a plan. But the fact he's talking about it, very interesting. Peloton, Iran, a couple of names on the low ticker right now, and SPY is hitting the low, which is pretty much the open. I mean, you gapped up. Situations, stimulus, more dumb shit. Oh, you better be coming out. They're going to the low. Yes, the dividend is a tax. It is taxable, huh?
Income.
But then you get a huge tax break with next year with the BBB. So I'm sure it won't. I think some people won't get taxed on it, possibly, but I don't know. I have to take that up with my tax professional. Is Vegas worth going to anymore? I mean, are you rich? How much money you got, dog? Because that's all that. It's Vegas is just all depends what you want to do, but it's just expensive. That's all. That's like it's the same old Vegas. It's just now you don't get free valet. They don't really incentivize as much. The hotels cost. They're about the same, but there's still like a noticeable increase from back in the day. The food is expensive. And then, yeah, it's not. Ooh, a little bit more of a red here at the low. It is speed running it, dude. I'm telling you, it's a bet. It's just they got to run it hot. And then, I mean, if we get closer to the AI stuff, it'll kind of make sense. You know, you're seeing the job losses and all that. So they want the economy to be stable, to be able to absorb that. But I've also said it. I said this, you know, beginning of the year, end of last year. It's just like, if this AI shit doesn't work, we're fucked. Even then, though, do you guys want to, I have a black swan. It's going to be a gray swan once I tell you. But it's very real, and you've already seen it in a little bit. But there is something that's like, there is an elephant in the room. Maybe it'll come to the forefront here in a few months. But, yeah, I don't know if you guys want to talk about it. It's related to AI. Some of you like it though. Some of y'all, you have no religious beliefs. You got no faith, but then you pray for the downfall of others. It's pretty ironic. Y'all been praying for AI's downfall. You ain't never pray in your life, but you pray and it fails. Isn't that funny? But yeah, you got two big candles here to the downside. I wouldn't call it huge, but it gave me a reaction. I said, oh. Look at that. Up. You got, what, 30 points up, 30 points down? Now equal way again. Majority of the names are red. Dow is actually about to go red now, too. Literally, latest headline was stimulus check and paying down the debt. It's not China. I already told you that one. It's better than China. Mm-hmm. It's not Sam Altman, no. Okay, man, 3 big candles. You just took a point down on this SPY out of nowhere. Euro closing about 40. Not the new Fed chair. No, it's not limitations. I'm seeing that's maybe, it's going to be a black swan, but if I tell you, it turns gray. But most people, I mean, people won't fucking listen. It's good. I like to see what your guys' ideas are, because then I'm like, damn, you really don't have that many people thinking about it. But it also just depends on how involved you are in it. But long story short, a lot of people don't realize how accessible AI is right now. AKA, you could create and run your own AI. You guys know that, right? Like, you could make your own local LLM, and it's pretty easy. It's not that hard. And then some of them, if you have like certain abilities, like you could really make a powerful local model on your own. And that being like, I think if people realize that, or somebody makes crazy models here in the future, I mean, that would devalue a lot of these investments. I don't know if you guys understand that. Like, think about it. You're spending all this money and doing all that, but like, yeah, every company is doing their own AI, but the point about AI, it creates that opportunity where, you know, the normal person could make something, and it's already happening. That's what I'm saying. People are already doing it. This isn't like it's going to happen. This is already happening. Some people have their own models that are very powerful. I mean, I have my own, and it's not like, it's fascinating. So it's like, to a certain degree, if you reach, if they get more powerful and people could do it on their own, that's going to change the value of a lot of these investments. I mean, why would you justify spending so much if Homeboy could do it on their own? It's like DeepSeek, but now spread out to all the individual people in all around the world. Yeah, exactly. You're used to seeing advancements from coding people. Now you have just randos doing it. Biologists, engineers, Joshes, fucking PewDiePie, all of it. It's just, that's what I'm saying. If you're in this space, I think you know what I'm talking about. But otherwise, if you're an investor, you're just hoping it's all in the video, but it's just not. That's not the reality. It's small still, but it's just like, it's the ability to do it. Remember, I was telling you guys this. It started with the vibe coding, but it's been a year, and now, yeah, you could do a lot. Hardware is the limitation, but like, you don't even need the hardware. You could rent it. So like, you don't need to build something. You just gotta train it, create it, and you don't even have to fucking know that much. If you have a good idea. That's the thing people don't understand right now, is that, like, do you guys see the whole thing about like natural language? Do you get what a language model is? Or like the fact that you're using natural language? You're using words to build things. Think about it. Why can I do something? I'm Josh. I'm good at words, motherfucker. That's all you're doing. Instead of having to code it yourself, you tell it in words. That's where we're getting to. You're going to get to the point where you just say natural language to build the most complex system. You see what I'm saying? You just say, build this. I want this, 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 this. Do this, this, this. It's all in English. It's all in words. It's not in JavaScript. It's not in HTML. You're not using, code. You're using the natural language to create things. So that's what we're moving to. That's why it's so kind of disruptive. Yeah, you're just saying things. That's it. Eventually, you're not going to need the Python. That's the crazy part. I just learned some of the Python stuff, but it's like, you don't even fucking need it down the line. And then that's why, like, all these data centers, in a way, it's going to allow people to rent. That's why you don't need to have the computers at your house. You could rent all of that compute power, and then you start to plug it in and tie it in. And then again, if you could word it the right way, and you could get to that, and the better advancements we have, that's what we're going to start getting. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. No single person could get the petabytes of data to make an LLM. I mean, you better hope so. But for the sake of the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, but you could get pretty close. Or you could get something very good with being a normie. You could be a normal ass person, and then if you have access to capital and you know people, that's where it starts to, it's faster and closer than you think. And that's something that most people they're not really seeing, depending on if you're on the investment side or not. Well, I guess normie in the sense of non-coder. Or you were never working on this your whole life. FDA requests labeling changes to related safety info to clarify benefit risk considerations for menopausal hormonal therapies. Or Boyd Gaming. All right, spy dumping. I mean, literally, latest thing was air traffic control and then $2,000 stimulus. pizza. The premiums aren't getting to the cheap price. If they fuck up on those premiums, you'll have a shot, but there's been no confirmation or not. Your TOS is frozen? Hot dog. The VIX is on the high. I was gonna say, bro, I feel like I haven't heard of a AWS issue in a while. Maybe they only say that when the market goes down. Or if they don't want you to trade it. Edwards Life Sciences, that's starting to pop up. They had a lot back there. Well, yeah, whatever's cheap for AI, if it's too expensive, you can still rent it. That's the crazy part. Or like you could pretty much outsource it. When your computer can't do it, you could have another computer non-locally do it and then bring it back. That's good, but if you try to sell your product in here, I'm gonna ban you. That's what usually happens. I don't know. I've had so many people do that. Dude, I have a psychologist. This guy just keeps emailing me and sending me messages, and he wants to sell you guys psychology. He said it will make you a better trader. He said, does your wife fight with you and you lose a trade? I will help. I'm like, I'm good, bro. I threw a Bible at him. I don't think I responded, but I would throw a metaphorical Bible at all of you. That's the best thing you could do. Well, yeah, I mean, you just dumped. That was out of nowhere, but that was a big dump. Those two candles held and developed into another point. There's a few down detector spikes of cost. I know. Remember they used to blame the dailies for the they stopped because of look backs. Shh, don't tell them. Orla, where's Nivda? Yeah, well, Nivda gave up like 2% there, but still up 3. That's what I'm saying. Dow's about to go red right now. Google gave up like 0.5%. Amazon gave up like 2. Netflix is chilling. Going lower. Fed Moran potential end to government shutdown doesn't change outlook much. See on CNBC? CNBC? Yep, he is.
What's happened since that happened, since we put those projections out?
Follow me on Instagram at the Trading Fraternity.
Which were better than expected, which would make one think that it would be reasonable to be incrementally more dovish than at the September FOMC, where again, the median projection was for 3 cuts. And on top of that, labor market data have come out with with the labor market continuing in the trajectory it was on, which is one of gradual softening. We do have some data on openings, on new openings that are available. We have some data on wages, and we have some data on jobless claims. And all of those are consistent with continued incremental softer weakening. So I would think the reasonable thing to be is incrementally more dovish than we were in the September FOMC, which again indicated 3 cuts for the year.
But your colleagues are not. And we didn't get that message from Fed Chair Powell at the last meeting when it came to guidance, and we're not getting it necessarily from the comments. They're still saying inflation is stubbornly high, and we don't have really enough data to tell us what to do.
Yeah, so I think that a lot of that focus is on inflation data that are, in my opinion, somewhat misleading. And so the question is, how backward-looking are those inflation data? And I think a lot of them are reliant on data that are, I think, at this point, quite stale. And when you look forward through things, I think the indications are for it to be actually coming down quite reasonably at a quite reasonable pace. And so one of the issues in the inflation data is that there's a lot of what we call imputed prices. These are not prices that are observed in actual transactions that households are engaging in. They're imputed. And the biggest one, of course, is housing through what we call owner's equivalent rent. But there's other ones too, things like financial services, things like nonprofit services that are ultimately consumed by households. And when you look through all of these imputed prices, you look at a market-based core measure of PCE, it's running much closer to the Fed's target than the headline core, than the normal core PCE is. And then when you look at market-based PCE X, something like shelter, it's running just at the Fed's target. And so I think that a lot of the reliance on inflation data is actually quite backward-looking in the way that some of my colleagues are using it. And I think it's more important to be forward-looking and making policy based on our forecasts for the future.
So to the degree we get a wave of updated data next week, if the shutdown actually ends, what's the first thing you're going to look for?
Well, I don't know if we'll be getting updated inflation data immediately. It might take some more time for that. I mean, we have the September CPI, and so we'll be getting following PCE data, but that's not that much incremental new information. To get new inflation data that's more recent than September will be a while. We will get the labor market data, but at this point it'll be somewhat stale. So I think it's going to take some time until we have new data that's actually changing the forecast. And again, policy should be forward-looking. So the question is, what has happened that would make you think that your forecast has changed based on where it was previously? And in my opinion, there's been nothing that's occurred since the September FOMC that would indicate a change of forecast.
Are you looking, speaking of looking forward, hopeful that tax refund season, OBBBA, depreciation will feed Q1 strength, first half strength of next year?
Yeah, so I do think that some of those elements will feed into better economic performance next year as we go into the turn of the year. However, I think it's important for monetary policy to be thinking of not just economic growth.
Well, remember, they all have their own opinion.
Output cap. And so the
a lot of
question
these Fed guys
is
sound
potential
very
GDP
different
increasing more or less than actual GDP
Some think the data is
important. And when I think of
important,
some of the policies that have been enacted over the course of the year, in my mind, they're pushing out potential either by as much as actual is in the case of, I think, the tax law, or they're pushing out potential GDP by more in the case of deregulation. And so some of those policies actually make the output gap actually more negative and
House
increase
says yes
the
on
need to
stop
cut
gap.
rates.
So you favor, what, another 50 basis point cut in December? That's what you wanted the last two meetings? Well,
look, nothing is certain. We could get data that would make me change my mind between now and then. But failing new information that's made me update my forecasts looking out in time, yeah, I would think that 50 is appropriate, as I have in the past, but at a minimum 25.
So why are your colleagues, I mean, you mentioned the inflation story, that you disagree, that you think it's backward looking. They're also, Fed President Schmidt, who was a dissenter, and the other way, didn't want to cut rates last time. In his dissent, when he came up, we pulled up the quote, we can pull it up again. He was saying the economy's doing quite well. Unemployment is low. Stocks are near record highs. Credit spreads are near record narrow. So what is telling you there that the economy is restrictive? Here we go. Modestly restrictive, he says. Financial market conditions appear to be easy across many metrics, as I just said. The equities, the corporate bond spreads, high yield bond issuance is high. None of this suggests, he says, that the financial conditions are particularly tight or that the stance of policy is restrictive.
Fertilizer
Why do you disagree with
just
that?
melted.
Yes, so a couple things. First of all, Congress didn't tell us to make policy
high ticker
for
going
financial
back
conditions.
after
They told us
that.
to make
That was
policy
kind of
for
pre-market
maximum
or pre-Euro
employment and
sell.
for stable prices. And
Fed
financial
Moran
conditions
comments,
are
those are
tools
hitting
which we
again.
work to achieve those goals. But even that said, I look at financial conditions, I don't see the same thing. Sure, there are parts of financial conditions where they seem quite loose, and you can sort of look at valuations in some equity markets or credit markets, but there are other markets where they appear quite tight. You look at something like housing, and I think that it looks like financial conditions are quite tight. And when I think what matters more for economic growth and therefore for the labor market and for our price mandate, it's absolutely going to be housing relative to equity markets any day of the week. And on top of that, you see stresses emerging in some private credit markets. Those aren't going into the price indices that he's looking at when he's quoting something like that. So I think the situation is much more nuanced than what he described. But I also think that it's important, as I said, to be forward-looking on these things. And when you sort of extrapolate continuing softening in the labor market based on what's happening on this stance of policy, and you extrapolate continuing declines in inflation based on a
second bidder for pizza,
shelter inflation to actual market rents, which are very, very, very low, and based on
we'll see how
ignoring
long
some
this
of the
lasts
fake
for.
inflation and the
But
imputed
you just
prices
have that
like
sell,
portfolio
a couple of
management
headlines. I don't think they were related.
Like we're heading
but then a lot of that momentum, I was saying, there's a lot of names on the downside.
Some
Those are
people are still
flipping.
worried that the tariff inflation hasn't fully showed up yet.
People have been worried about that all year long. And
Team, that kind of flipped around
if you
too.
say inflation is backward looking, they say, okay, well, there are risks to the upside going forward.
They've been marking their forecasts for tariff inflation down all year long. People have been moving in my direction on tariff inflation all year long. And on top of that, if tariff inflation does materialize, it is the definition of the type of thing that the central bank should look through. If tariff inflation were to materialize, it is the kind of one-off, fiscally driven price increase that is not indicative of underlying changes in supply and demand, right? You worry about second-round effects if demand is outstripping supply, and therefore there's going to be persistent upward pressures on prices. If prices move higher because there's a fiscally mandated price change, whether it's a tariff or a value-added tax or something that happens in healthcare or whatever it is, that's not the type of thing that gives rise to persistent demand outstripping supply that would cause persistent inflation effects. It's the definition of the one-off that the central bank should look through if it were to materialize.
Waller's argued that too.
You mentioned private credit. Do you consider it a large sort of known unknown at the moment?
I do consider it a large known unknown. That's exactly the right way to describe it, I think. It's something out there that we have limited insight into, right? There's less transparency in the private market than there is in the public market. But we don't know how much of the issue, if at all, it is. I'm not negatively, sort of disposed to private credit just because it's private. But I do think I don't know as much about it as I do about some public markets. And I also think that we need to be thinking about this when we think about financial conditions in the way I described before.
And when it comes to like short-term Fed liquidity, are you a fan of maybe continue to inject money overnight and moving to a QE stance as opposed to QT?
You mean in terms of expanding reserve balances?
Yep.
Well, I think that's a separate question from the stance of monetary policy, right? So first, let's back up a second and examine what we did at the last meeting. We stopped allowing the maturing mortgage-backed securities to roll off our balance sheet in a way that would decrease the amount of reserves in the system. So now when a mortgage matures, we replace it up to the cap. We replace it with treasury bills, so the overall size of the balance sheet doesn't change. However, that's still an increase in net supply of interest rate risk, of duration risk, and of credit risk into the economy, because that maturing mortgage, when it's replaced by a new mortgage because the person moves or refinances, that has to be absorbed by the market.
Team, bro.
And so the restrictive stance of balance sheet policy hasn't changed, even though we're keeping the amount of reserves constant. So that's the first thing to note. Right. The second thing to note is that if we do end up increasing the size of the
2 minutes ago,
there's
a 13G.
In the system, which is
I don't know if
it's
it's new or not.
Issue. It's a banking issue and
somebody took a 4.9% stake.
And we do it by buying treasury bills. We create reserves in exchange for these treasury bills.
I don't know if that was from the
morning. One form of short-term obligation for another form of short-term obligation. Unless you expand the balance sheet in a way that you're buying longer-term
I
debt,
see that. I mean, I see a 13G filed.
Securities,
I don't know if they owned it before or not, but I said 4.9. That was 2 minutes ago.
We're seeing this inequality rise with spending. You hear about it in the consumer numbers. We saw it in the consumer confidence data that we got on Friday.
Yeah.
And I think the strongest argument for doves like you is that
we just started dropping out of nowhere. I think we gapped up a decent amount, but there were some headlines I just don't think that's what
and the lower income on spending, on housing, affordability.
Remember last week,
not participating in the market gains.
Some people are saying their charts on TOS
is the best case for cutting interest rates. I mean, do you see that gap widening?
Yeah, look, we also weren't tasked with tackling inequality and other items like that. We were tasked with maximum employment and stable prices. We're no longer at maximum employment because the unemployment rate has been drifting higher over the course of the last 12 plus months, right? And it continues, in my mind, to drift higher. So we're no longer at that. We're drifting farther away from it as we allow the labor market to continue softening because policy is too tight. And so it's imperative
a lot more reds though. Again, look at the low ticker, just picked up.
Calibrating it downwards to prevent that restriction on the economy from bringing the unemployment rate even higher.
Sure. I mean, I think those two arguments go together actually quite nicely. There is, though, this argument. I'm just going to throw all the counter arguments at you. What is the rush? What is the urgency? Why don't we wait till we get a clearer sense of the economy and inflation? Nothing is screaming like the Fed needs to be cutting rates urgently right now.
Yeah, so that's a great question.
All your
and
charts
it ties
are
back
frozen.
to what we were talking about before with the lack of data.
I think the option chain is
monetary
working.
Policy works with lags. If you adjust interest rates now, it doesn't hit the economy now. It takes a while to hit the economy. Nobody knows exactly how long those lags are.
My TOS charts are fine for now.
Months. Some people think they've shortened a little bit relative to that recently. However, if you're making policy for what the data are now, you are backward looking. because it will take 12 to 18 months for that to hit the economy. So you need to make policy now based on where you think the economy is going to be a year to a year and a half from now. And if you say something like everything seems fine today, or we don't have data and therefore we're in fog and we need to sort of just sit still, you're making policy in an extremely backward-looking manner. And I think that's very dangerous because you're not responding to where the economy will be 12 to 18 months from now.
But nobody knows. No, we don't know the impact of AI on the labor market, for instance. We don't know we don't really know what's going to happen there. And the Fed's own forecasts every time they forecast GDP and inflation are wrong.
Yeah, so uncertainty is part of the human condition. We will never live in a world with perfect certainty. We do live in a world with forecasts, and it is incumbent upon us to make policy based upon those forecasts for the future, not to make policy based on what the data are today or what the data were 6 months ago, which is what you're doing if you're saying we need to just sort of stop and not do anything because we don't have all the information we need. We will never have all the information we need. That will never be the case. So the question is, with the information available today, what does that do to our forecasts 12 to 18 months from now? Did we get information that would make us think that our forecasts 12 to 18 months from now were wrong? In September, we put out projections. What have we learned in the meantime that would tell us that those projections had moved up or down? As I said before, we got an inflation print that was better than people expected, which should make us move our projections somewhat down in terms of interest rates, and we got continued labor market softening that was in line with what the expectations were, which again should tell you staying the path is the right move.
So you think the market's coming to you, or consensus is coming to you?
You know, I do, and I think that's been the case all year. You know, I think that earlier in the year I was out there saying that I didn't think that tariffs were going to cause some sort of big recession or massive inflation spike, and there absolutely were very, very prominent people, very serious, well-respected people, saying that tariffs were going to cause an inflation spike, you know, like we had after COVID, or saying that tariffs were going to cause a recession or whatever it was. And I think people have been very gradually moving in my direction on those things.
So the market's at what, 64% odds of a cut in December?
I mean,
Do you think the Fed ultimately will cut in December?
Well, again,
I know you want them to.
Look, I can only speak for myself, right? However, as I said before,
no real headline on any of this. And then a lot of you are reporting TOS problems.
What is the information
I think you can still trade. It's just
and I think it all points in one direction. I don't think we've gotten any meaningful information since the September FOMC when we put those projections out that would have told you that actually it's time to sort of reverse course and take a cut out from this year. I don't think we've gotten any information.
So why did Powell cast doubt on that in the last meeting?
Yeah, so again, I can only speak for myself, but I've always thought of the chairman's job as reflecting the views of the committee. And, you know, I don't think it's a secret that the committee is somewhat divided right now. And so the question is, where are the votes going to shake out over time? You know, I think, as I've done before, I think it's appropriate to quote former Speaker Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi, who one of her favorite lines was always that the vote is the currency of the realm. And so the question is, how are things going to shake out when we get to December?
Well, it's going to be interesting to be inside that Fed meeting, a particularly divided Fed. Thank you for coming on and sharing some of your views.
Thanks for having me.
Always good to hear from you. Fed Governor Stephen Myron.
Still to come this hour, CEO of trading platform eToro is with us. An earnings beat driven by some continued buying among retail traders. Despite these AI bubble fears, we'll get into the recent drop in crypto as well.
Plus, is this the potential end of the government shutdown? And is it the next catalyst the market needs? HSBC lays out its year-end playbook with the NASDAQ coming off its worst week since April, trying to hold the rebound today. Stay with us.
Since April? What? We had our own little mini Liberation Day. You guys remember Liberation Day? It wasn't liberating to many, but still. All right, man. Well, even if the government shuts down, just the data still doesn't come in, or even when it reopens. That's what a lot of people, because some people thought it was going to come out if we get this deal right away, but I think a lot of you will be surprised that you'll have to wait. can't see, bro. I don't know. I swear she retired last year. Am I tripping? Didn't she retire, or did she just like step down from speaker or something? I was born in Liberation Day. I don't know if I could do the Bane voice again. Molded by it. I don't know why. It won't come out. I have to listen to it. Tesla, bro, that's been solid today, especially as like all the other ones flipped. They started running up with like Nvidia, then Nvidia flipped, and then now that one's holding. Last year there was a 13G, but I couldn't really interpret it. I think only Michael Burry can. We're all too dumb. That's what he said. That's what he said, Palantir. I'm pretty sure he said Alex Karp is the dumbest person alive. I think that's what Michael Burry was trying to say. He has trouble communicating, but I'm pretty sure that's what he said. I don't think that. I think Alex Karp's a smart man. Alex, do you have any comments on that? He said you don't know how to even read a filing, bro. That's what you read? Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, man, that's bold, bro. That's bold. Hey, man, it is what it is. Somebody said it, and I kind of agree. In a weird way, I think, because, like, I would do it too, bro. Like, but I think Michael Burry thinks he's Christian Bale. That's what I think is happening. So, like, deep down, Michael Burry thinks he's Batman. Y'all don't get it, bro. Like, straight up, I think Michael Burry, he's like, you don't know what I went through. I got through the prisons in China. I lived. You don't even know how to read a 13G. What the fuck, Michael? So yeah, that's what I think's going on. I really think he thinks he's Batman. It happens. It could happen. He's gonna sign off as Bruce Burry. Nah, for real though, I think he does. All the cryptic tweets, everything, bro. I think he's Bruce Burry now. He don't know. He's losing it. That's what happens. Action in Senate is a positive development. Look forward to seeking the process. Johnson plans to swear in Grijalva soon. Punch Bowl. Burry new post. Did he really just post right as I said that? Caesar. What up, baby? Spy going lower. Oh yeah, 1 minute ago. Holy shit. Understanding by extending useful life of assets, artificially boost earnings, one of the more common frauds of the modern era. Massively ramping capex through purchase of chips on a 2-year cycle should not result in the extension of useful lives of compute equipment. This is what hyperscalers have done. They will understate depreciation by $176 billion in 26. By 28, Oracle will overstate earnings. 26, and he's bringing Oracle and Meta into this. So if you think about it, he only called out the other ones. So yeah, in a weird way, you kind of tie in Oracle and Meta, the companies with the bond shit. But like, that's the other part though. So Michael, I don't know if he's listening. Michael. But what about they're using? I think they're doing it as a tax break. That's the other thing. I think they're over depreciating these things, and they know it has a short life cycle. But I think they're using not only the capex stuff, but I think they're using this for some tax benefits too. Because I know that's what Meta did. Meta did some weird shit with depreciation over the last couple years, but I think it ended up saving them some money. Why the president has such a low rating. We talked about it last week, man. I think you live in a fascinating time, bro. It's very, very different, but I mean, I could see the one issue I don't like with Trump that a lot of people don't like is that, you know, because I voted for him, a lot of people did, but like you thought it was going to be all America first, and I know he made a promise to end these wars, but like people do not like him getting dragged in all the beef. He's getting dragged in with the Israel stuff. He's getting, now if he wants to go, even I love the Christian people, you know what I'm saying? But I think he's trying to drag, people don't want him to get dragged into all of these things. And even then Russia, Ukraine, you name it. So I think that's kind of changing some of his reflection or how he's being viewed. But then there's a lot of other things that I just think that it boils down to people have made their mind up. If you didn't like Trump already, you still hated him. And in the way it's kind of moved forward, it's been very fascinating to see because, you know, if you are being told something and your perception is matching up, or you're only perceiving what you're told, I mean, that could explain what you're getting here. And I think that's a big part of it because I've never seen anything like it, bro. I really, really have. Yeah, he's not winning any new supporters, and he's probably turning people off. I think it's just all the war shit. It's all the war shit, the Israel shit, the all this stuff now that could get misrepresented. Because I think I didn't like the bill. He's done stuff to turn people off in many ways, but I also think he's just not like, there's a big portion that it doesn't matter what the fuck he does. He's always going to be perceived as kind of the bad guy. Like, again, the snap shit. Like, dude, the snap, the damn, like, any of this stuff with the shutdown, it's working in his favor, but like a lot of this political shit, dude, is it's kind of sad to see how people, like, again, you just watched a bunch of Democrats get mad at the shutdown about to end, and like I think that kind of went against him. The people at your job that used to hate him have come around. Oh, really? That's good to see. I think there's a portion though that will never change their mind on him. It's kind of, and then they've, you know, been pushed to other directions. I think his dilemma is he wants to complete his campaign promises, but then a lot of people are, you know, the people that he has good support from that are getting turned off by him, he does need to focus on the USA. But that's going to be the temptation, just like Bush. That's the irony, is that he has a similar approval rating to Bush, and that's exactly what George W. Bush did. You know, he got dragged into the Middle East, and both sides support it. I hope you know. They love it. They love it. Pizza got another rumor at $65 a share from Try Artisan Capital. I don't think it's fully confirmed, but a couple people have picked it up and have talked about it. I'd still approach it with caution, but I do think it was worthwhile. You get fired if you said Biden was senile? That's crazy. See, that's what I'm saying, though. That's because, like, motherfucker was senile. That's not, you're not even lying, bro. Like, I'd fire you if you lied, but what do you mean? What the fuck? I mean, as much as I would like to stop a Christian massacre that's been going on for a very long time and everybody ignored it anyways, it's a trap. It's the whole, they want him to be in the Middle East because it's just going to distract him and it's not going to fare well for him. That's it. It's a problem. Ask George W. Bush. That's why everybody doesn't like the Middle East to a certain degree. That's why this problem has been going on for a while. I mean, that's just the sad reality of it. I'll beat him at golf. That was a good time. Yeah, CVS, I put that up. They're starting to dump. I don't know if that's part of the healthcare stuff. I don't, honestly, I love you guys, but like, I don't want to hear about the APAC shit. We live in such a everyone's just too dumb. You say anything critical about the Jewish community, you get called an anti-Semite. You say anything critical about the opposite, they're like, you're a Zionist. I'm like, bitch, I am Jesus. I believe in you don't realize they don't like both sides don't like me, motherfucker? What's wrong with y'all? So yeah, I don't want to hear it. That's kind of how I approach those. I think education, a good objective view at history, wars, conflicts, going back through all. I'm Batman. That's exactly how I would view it. And just unfortunately, everybody wants to fucking boil down everything to one or the other if you don't agree with them. Let's be real, because that's it. That's all it is. You say one thing critical to either side, or even if it's in an objective truth, you're not going to win. And it's not even about winning, but people don't even care about really the truth as much as they care about a side. So you guys could save it. You could take it to the people who like to hear it, but, you know, I think getting ready for AI and a lot of other things and securing your future is going to be of the utmost importance. And then just remember, I support Jesus, you guys. I hope you know that. And that says a lot. That you should know damn well what I like and who doesn't like me as well, and a lot of it's based off that. You don't have the Son of Man has no place to rest his head, brother. I think that could accurately explain it. Was that I saw that I didn't know that was related to Pfizer on the hormone therapy. No, that's real. They argued about who who was better at golf. That was during the debate. And then after that they replaced Biden. I don't know if they were doubting Biden or if they're like, he really will lose at golf. Quick, get Kamala. Is it Kamala or Kamala? Doesn't matter. I mean, respect, what do you mean you're a Buddhist Mexican who believes in Jesus? What do you believe in? I mean, I guess you have to be born into like, is it Hinduism? One of them you have to be born into. You can't like choose to be it. What do you, I mean, your ethnicity doesn't matter, but I guess the whole Buddhist Jesus thing. But and do you believe in Jesus, or is he your savior? Is he your Lord in Christ? That's the thing. Shutdown. Shutdown Hussein. Thank you. Go Longhorns. Kamala. Penn, all the gambling stocks did good today. Go Longhorns. Yeah, exactly. Thune voting on stopgap package in the very near future. So you're getting good government headlines. I can't believe it's been a year since the election, you guys. Think about it. Today's November 10th. So this would have been like, what, day after or something? A couple days? I don't remember which date it was. Was it 4th or 10th or 9th? It's still been a year. Isn't that crazy? 12 fucking months. And then this year is almost over. Where's our Santa? Where's our Santa rally? It's fueled by CapEx. It's Michael. Bird, what's your name? Bruce. Stop it. FDA approves generic version of Pfizer's Premarin. I feel bad. Me and Burry got off on the wrong foot. Because I was just trying to encourage him, and I think he thought I was trolling him. And then he blocked me. On Bloomberg, though. He's never blocked me on social media. But, yeah, I thought he doesn't understand. I'm like, I understand him. Like, believe me, even down to motherfuckers harassing you. I get you, Burry. You don't get it. Like, but I guess so. Wait, he changed it. Oh, this little fucker. Dog, he changed it. This used to say December. Remember I was telling you guys that? And I said, look at his bio. I even made a tweet about it. Yeah, he changed it. He said November 25th. I have a date for you guys, but I can't tell you until we get close to it. I'll tell you in like a week. But it has nothing to do with that. Is a stopgap? Yeah, it's only for a couple months, but then I think some programs will go for the whole fiscal year 26, and then they're going to do a revote, and then the subsidies for healthcare only go till December, and then they're at least guaranteeing a vote on it rather than just saying no. But that's what I'm saying, bro. I'm telling you, I mean, you guys might not like this, but I think the reality of the situation, because like, I don't know, this isn't with, although I kind of have a disdain for a lot of the old Democrat leaders, it's just like, let's be real, bro. Why are they being so butthurt about ending this? Is that I think it's all pharma, dude. I really do. I know everybody always talks about the grip of pharma. I think that's your fucking deep state, dog. For some of you who want to use those terminologies, it's just like straight up, bro. Because they are going to stop getting subsidies. So they have the most to lose in all of this. And if anything, all these guys get their pharma donations. It's just like, why would you hold Americans hostage like this? Why would they be mad about it? And that's where, like, I think some people have to realize, but it's just like, that's the biggest loser in all of this. So if you want to know who fucking misses out, it's the insurance companies and pharmaceuticals, because now they're not going to get the last, like, dude, that's exactly why. You could go to a doctor's office and they'll fucking charge you 10x on insurance price, or they'll give it to you for 90% off if you don't have insurance. But if you have insurance, they can't give you the non-insurance price. That's all because of the subsidies. That's why they charge so much. You get what I'm saying? Have you ever wondered why they charge you, they bill you $10,000? Why can they get away with it and do it? It's because that's getting subsidized by the fucking government. So that's all it is. So if anybody, I think Republican, Democrat, I really think it's fucking pharma just waging war against the American citizens once again. Because it's not it's very odd, and that's because that's the only loser in all of this. If you really asked and took an objective view on Like, who would lose if we had this bill? And like, it's not, they're using illegal immigrants as the straw man, because it's just, they're making way more money time and time, like over everybody. Doesn't matter if you're illegal or not. Yes, there will be healthcare denied to some people like that, but at the end of the day, like, that's not where all the money's at. All the money is all of these subsidies continuously. So that's why, and again, they all fucking donate to both Republican and Democrat. But I think that's all it is. I think that's the real elephant in the room. It's bigger than 26 billion, dude. There's a lot. Michael Burry warns of earnings fraud. Yeah, that was the tweet I read, you guys. After we called him Batman, Michael. Yeah, 800 billion a year. That sounds more like it, to be honest. And even then, not even, let me fuck with you. Now multiply that by 10. We're talking, these are like 10-year shits, bro. It's been like this for 10 years, 15 years. So there's a lot of money at stake for just pharma, just healthcare, just insurance. I mean, they're the biggest employers in the nation. Most of the biggest employment is pharmaceutical, or is healthcare insurance. All right, so new low after all of that. We are at 10 minutes off a euro close. No real aim. Senators take aim at Meta, OpenAI, and Oracle in a letter. Yeah, it's like pharma and the health insurance. And I'm not saying just like drug makers. It's both of them. It's all of it. It's just all, there's a lot of money in healthcare, and that's why I'm like, why are people getting mad, bro? We just saw people really, really, argue for the SNAP benefits and all that, and it's like, why would the supporters be against it? There's pizza. I think they're finding out it's cap. I don't even know if it's cap. It's just weird. And then MP on the high as well. Soon, I expect Trump will sign Senate stopgap funding bill. Yeah, you got the Wall Street Journal thing on Meta. Sanders, Blumenthal, White House demand answer for high power prices. Sam Altman. See, I don't even know what the fuck they are. He's an idiot. He's a smart idiot, but I can't, dude. That whole bailout shit last week was fucking nonsense. He fucked it. I saw a meme of it. It was like the scene in Breaking Bad where he starts telling, he's like, oh, you had one job, just be you. We had Jensen, we had everything going right. You just had to fucking open your mouth. Because I don't get it, bro. He's a fucking idiot. Like, that's a very bad look. And like, I agree. If you wanted to look, if that's how the biggest fucking AI company is thinking, like, Elon was right from the get-go. When Elon was like, Elon was mad at the Stargate announcement. You guys remember that? You remember when it was fucking Massa and OpenAI, and then they went in front of with Trump, and they did all that? I didn't like it. That's why I argued against that on the BBB. I was telling you, I was like, this is bullshit. Why would they give that AI bill? And then they gave him pretty much a 500 billion credit line, in a weird way. But yeah, that was it's not a good look, man. And I just think if that's what he's expecting, yeah, he fucked it up. But I mean, it won't crack yet, but still, perception-wise, and just some of the Sam charm is fading. Some of the smartest people are really dumb. I look at the mirror every day, brother. Nice to meet you. My name is Josh, I think. I don't know, but yeah. I like it. Don't be too smart. Don't be too dumb. You'll be fine. Yeah, has there been a good Sam? Have we had like a Sam something that like just only did good things? Or do they all just scam? It's in the name. You're one letter off. Uncle Sam? No, that guy's gonna get you. Sam Adams. Wasn't Sam Adams really popular? I remember when I was like a kid, that was the first beer I wanted to try just because of commercials. Do you know what I'm talking about, or do I just sound really weird? Pizza rumor not true? Oh, I already have the pizza up. I mean, again, we were skeptical. Do you remember? I feel like they used to have fucking, they would have these little, like Sam Bankman, Sam Altman, Sam beer commercials all the time. And I was like, what? They made it look really good. They made it look like a lot of fun. I was a kid. Sam Cassell, Alien, my guy. I mean, I don't know. I don't see the... But many, yeah. See, I have a note. Market chatter derived from conversations with market professionals globally. This information is believed to be from reliable sources, but may include rumor and speculation. Accuracy is not guaranteed. So yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's the reason why. I don't see like a full denial yet by company or by the bidder. Sammy Sosa, right? But then remember steroids? People were tripping out. Boeing offering a ratification bonus of $6,000. Doesn't Starbucks have a strike too? Dog, do you know how much drama there is around the teddy bear thing? It's so hilarious. Dude, they're getting pissed. Like it was all to drive foot traffic into Starbucks, and then they would give it to the managers, and then now the people are selling them for like $200 on eBay. But yeah, people are pissed. I saw 3 different videos of fights. I feel like it's peak like crazy liberal lady. Like, but even then, my girl wanted one, and she's not even a crazy liberal. I was like, I think it's just a woman thing. But I see the appeal. It's a really cute teddy bear. I understand. But dude, they were fighting in Targets and shit. Like, they're just like, literally, think about it. Like, I waited. It's mine. You gotta give it to me. Dog, it was insane. I mean, OpenAI is not a bad company, but that's the thing. It's not like, you know, I think if they IPO'd, it'd be worth something, a lot, and it'd be good. You know, fastest company to ever do, like 1 million users in history, and like they got really good things. They've led a lot of the advancement, but I get odd that he views government backstops the way he does, and that's the only thing. That's where it's just like, what are you doing, man? Dog, they're fighting over these Starbucks cups. I think it'll be good for foot traffic. It left some people a little pissed. Tim Hortons, they were trying to buy pop-up toys. I didn't hear about that one. Man, I really want to try Tim Hortons one day. Do you know that? I know a lot of Canadians, and y'all hype that shit up. Tell me if you end up seeing a confirmation on the pizza. Let me know, but I don't see it yet. I don't think it got, somebody said it got shut down, but I don't see the official shutdown, if that makes sense. Drama. There's Costco Pokemon cards too. Wow. Trump Al-Shara meeting has begun. White House. Oh, aren't the Saudis coming, or is that next week? I'm in a call. Syria? Yeah, it was Syrian interim president Ahmad al-Shara. Yeah, bro, I want to try that Canadian coffee. I've heard many good things, but he just said it's bad. He said he don't fuck with it. Dude, I remember like 2015, 2018, I was hearing about Timmy Hortons nonstop. RL on the high. That's that. I told you, I always told you guys the story. I remember when, you guys remember when the Xbox 360 came out? That was the first time people started selling shit for like $1,000 on eBay. I'll never forget it. I remember, bro, I got one at Toys R Us. I got lucky. It was fascinating. Yeah, and then you get the red ring of death. It's terrible. Ruined my summer. That's that. Johnson told GOP he's hoping for Wednesday's stopgap vote. Damn, so you're gonna have to go 2 days? So you get today, we're not gonna, that means you're gonna, this is just gonna be in the air. Like I'm telling you, I think it's gonna be bumpy. IPI on the high. I wanted to see the retailers. Yeah, Trump and Syria meeting. You'll get some headlines, or there's a live video. I don't know when they're gonna play it though. Oh, how far are you from British Columbia? I didn't even think about that. Can you DoorDash it to your... If you live in like right next to Canada, could you DoorDash it, or do they not do cross-border deliveries? I don't know. Never tried it. You never got the red ring of death? That's crazy, man. You're blessed. Dude, it was terrible. I got it on like the second day of summer when I was a kid, and I was pissed because then you have to send it in, and they would fix it for free. They would send you a new Xbox, but it took like a month or 2 months. It's terrible. Damn, you guys don't like Tim Hortons no more? What? What happened? You're like the second or third person who said Tim Hortons sucks. You guys are traitors. I dare you. I forgot they started making some of them in the U.S. El Pollo Loco, Poco Loco. All right. Well, it's 8:50. I hope you did your push-ups during Mr. Moran. What the fuck is that? There's something going on in Senate. Wait, the Supreme Court rejects call to overturn landmark same-sex ruling? I didn't even know they were doing that. Smoke that hate. It's not out yet. It'll be good though. Uncle sent the stuff in and I helped him. I sent it to Marcus. So your guys' full Uncle album, depending on how long it takes to edit, should be ready. We're hoping. We're gonna see. So you'll get all those songs and a lot more you haven't heard. There's some good ones, bro. There's some good ones. Yeah, Barrick Gold on the low. I don't know if gold stayed up. No real official update on the other one. On the pizza stuff. Well, there's a lot. I didn't realize Uncle made so many. He's been on a roll, but I told him, I said put it all in one, but I think it's like 18 songs. That's a lot. I was like, you might as well just do 2, but he says he wants it in 1. So I said, let's just see what we get done by that time. And then hopefully you'll have one before end of the year. Or maybe on Christmas. That'll be your gift. I shall, no questioning. No mentioning. Oh no, there isn't any album art. That will be necessary. I could get you guys to do it. I don't have any ideas though. Usually Uncle tells me last minute, but yeah. If you have any ideas, feel free. Yeah, that was the Burry tweet. Again, I don't know why Barrick is dropping. Gold is on the high. I think this is the part where the sentence says period. It'll be that's why, because a lot of you guys ask about the songs, but it'll be once the album comes out, it'll be on everywhere. All right, well, you bounced a little bit. I need to go to the bathroom. Follow me on Instagram at the Trading Fraternity, Real Cult News on Twitter. Thank you, Habibi.
The AI boom, it is money. So massive data centers financed through private credit and bond markets. In China, as a contrast, it is being built on efficiency. That's cheaper chips and open source models, far leaner infrastructure requiring far less capital. Now, this is the Artificial Analysis Intelligence Index cited by Goldman in a note over the weekend. Chinese models like Kimi and Alibaba's Qwen, they're ranking alongside top American models on benchmarks despite that massive difference in investment. Now, the latest breakthrough, it came last week from a Chinese startup backed by Alibaba called Moonshot. Its open source model, Kimi K2, outperforming on several standard benchmarks and reportedly costing less than $5 million to train. Now, if that sounds familiar, it's because it is. It fits into the story that's really been emerging from China's AI scene since the beginning of this year. Moonshot, Minimax, Qwen, and yes, DeepSeek all continue to close the performance gap with far smaller budgets. Now, take a look at this chart. U.S. cloud giants, they are projected to spend
nearly $700 billion on data centers by 2027. China's biggest players, Alibaba, Tencent, ByteDance, and Baidu, they are together expected to spend about $35 billion. That is a 20-to-1 gap in capital spending for systems that are performing at roughly the same level. Now, of course, the bet for each side is different. The U.S. is chasing AI dominance, levering up to reach AGI first. China, on the other hand, it's racing for scale or deployment. Now, Wall Street's still rewarding the American model. And this week, though, we are going to start to see earnings results from Chinese internet giants. So investors, guys, they will get another look at the other side of this equation, of this race, and how far efficiency and open models can go without the trillion-dollar capex. And with markets already a little bit jittery over some of the huge debt financing deals, this could raise those worries to the top again to see just how little the Chinese are developing with.
Yeah, watching those IG spreads pretty closely, Dee. Thanks. And of course, we'll get Cisco later in the week and AMAT too. That'll help.
CoreWave tonight, yep. and Paramount. But I think what Deirdre points out is a good distinction, because if one of the biggest questions I hear at every conference I go to is, where are we relative to China in the AI race? And so if we're making sort of different bets and spending a lot more money, that is a pretty big gap.
Yes.
In answering that.
Busy week ahead. Let's get back to Post 9, the judge and the half.
Carl, thank you very much. Welcome to the Halftime Report. I'm Scott Wapner. Front and center this hour, the reopening rally. The market's cheering that deal in D.C. We'll discuss what it means for the markets, the AI trade, looking to get back on track as well. Joining me for the hour, Steve Weiss, Amy Raskin, Jim Leventhal, and Sarat Sethi. We will check the markets. I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's a NASDAQ story, once again, going the opposite direction of how most of last week went. NASDAQ's up 1.5%. So it's a nice gain there. So stocks are up, Bitcoin is rebounding, gold is higher. Weiss, tech stocks suffered their worst week since the Liberation Day sell-off. $800 billion worth of market cap was wiped last week. We have a chart to show you the major companies which saw the big sell-off: NVIDIA, Microsoft, Broadcom, Oracle, Meta, Palantir, Alphabet, Amazon, the ones that are really in the wheelhouse of what we've been talking about. Palantir was down 11%. Do we sort of get back on track now after a little bit of a shakeout? Because that's how it's been. Yep. Investors haven't let these stocks slide all that far. They've come in and bought them.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy, dude. Since April, it didn't feel like that, but it did. This is America. Alrighty, man. Well, we'll do more push-ups in like 30. We went a little earlier. Well, other than that, you just big gap up, the rally stuff with the shutdown, and then I think on Wednesday you'll get the real answer. But other than that, I think we chillin'. Still got a lot of room, though. There's a lot of room to go both ways. PRAA, hi. PRAA, it's up 4%. That other one is still up, that one little cheap one we had earlier. There's one option on there. Here. It's just 4%, so it might be a trigger, but be careful. All right, Chad took it. Chad took it. Take a look at this chart. What am I looking at? I don't know, but it looks bad. Facts. Fox. Mexico plans for China tariffs said to be delayed until December. Wait, hold on. Something on Mexico and China. Tariff plan guarantee garnered party business opposition. Congressional approval could be delayed until February. I don't know if that's related to Mexico or us. Oh, my bad. Good afternoon. Good morning. So I guess it all depends where you are. But it's a good day still. And it's Monday. It's good to be back, man. I like Mondays. All right, man. SPY's going. Again, you had that stopgap stuff of them. Literally, that first green candle on this little rally was them saying the Wednesday decision. So that could be it. Otherwise, you just post euro. And we even sold some of the rally in the morning off the cash open, and then that's it. So it could be normal movement. I mean, we dropped without any like real headlines. So on the way up, I think you're getting some similar features of that. All right, back to VWAP, dog. That's really literally right below the opening. So not that bad. Swiss said to be close to agreeing 15% tariff deal with U.S. I don't think it was news, but like literally right here, that's where you had the government where they said on Wednesday Trump will probably sign it, and they're assuming it'll pass the House. So other than that, though, like we started dumping from here. There wasn't really news. There was headlines from Trump and stuff about tariff dividend and air traffic control, but yeah. So I think even on the way down, it wasn't caused by much. On the way up, it does correlate a little bit with the headline, but that's it. And then now you're even getting the Switzerland stuff, saying 15% deal with the Swiss, the Suisse. Alrighty. I think this was, I mean, it hasn't even gone up. That's, it's not. I think some places, depending on where you order, they might like inform you about like customs, if there is all that. But like, I mean, I don't think there's been any too noticeable on the consumer end. You know, producers, intermediaries, you know, they're probably the ones paying for it. But I mean, I'm hard pressed to say there was a big tariff impact. Yeah, and engines. They make engines in Switzerland. I think the ONON stuff, they're, believe it or not, Vietnam tariff. Even though that's a Swiss company, it's all their shit's in Vietnam. So that would probably have more of an impact. And then SPY back to open off that again. Just reiterated some of those headlines, but I don't think that's it. We did talk about the 50-year mortgage, yeah. It was on our minds bright and early. Long story short, I think it's going to be good and bad depending on how you use it. Should increase some demand, but just I wouldn't do it for it's going to be great for entry, to get your foot in the door on properties and being able to help a lot of people qualify. But ideally, you would want to refi out of that eventually and not take it to the full term of the loan. Lulu value? I mean, no, you're not. We've talked about it all year. We just chose Nike instead, and everybody felt the same way. I mean, everybody was talking value. Even at the beginning of the year, people were saying the value. So it's $300 lower now, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if they have the same staying power as a Nike, but I also don't think they're that bad. You know, where people are like, it'll never come back. It's like, no, they're pretty good, but you know, it's price is high. It's kind of like Elf. You know how I compared Elf and Cody. You could compare Nike and Lululemon. You know, the price of Lululemon's higher, but like valuation, they're the same. But the earnings on Lulu did decline. So that changed a little bit of that. Situations. So let's see here. If we can hold above VWAP, that'll be great. Otherwise, that might have just been a little bit of a move up to buy us time to go nowhere. Yeah, Cardinal Healthcare, that actually went red to green. And RDS. High ticker is actually very active. So now that has to be just tech, but probably that NVIDIA. What's Wave? 8% Eco Power Wave. Let's see, Lulu. I haven't looked at their fundamentals. I didn't track the last earnings. But yeah, even that COVID run up though, I mean, this is still like 300% higher than where it kind of really started. But even then, like, the real question you should be asking yourself is, do you think the consumer is going to have a good year next year? Like, whether it's through the tax breaks, whether it's stimulus, or maybe the SNAP benefits and other stuff changes consumer habits and behavior, because that's all it's about. Just literally, if you get the if these consumer stocks, if they're able to come back to growth and people buying them actively or buying their products, then yeah, a lot of these are the best value you could get right now. Every single consumer related stock, like food and restaurants, unless it's like tech, they're all doing terrible. So that's kind of the whole idea here, where it's like, if you exclude AI capex, I mean, GDP growth is negative. So yeah, it's like, if you think those are going to do, you could buy any of them, but I would definitely focus on the ones that you want to hold for 10 years and believe in. But it's just like, yeah, the consumer has really, anything consumer related is just not doing well. You could argue a lot of them are kind of in their own little recession already. Docs on the low. That thing looks like it just started dumping. It's already down, but just flush. So yeah, no, this run up, I don't think there was a reason to go vertical. Again, stopgap on Wednesday, that was around here, but even on the way down, we had good news. So I think we're just moving around after, last couple weeks are pretty bad. You woke up with, a positive set of news, and then you're still holding the gains, and I think we're still digesting it, and then you'll probably move back and forth to mess with the gamblers for a little bit. But other than that, the only real update is that, we started off the morning with the shutdown. Now we're knowing on Wednesday that's going to be the first pretty much vote to either approve it or not. Gold, I think I'm not a fan of gold because, we bought it a really long time ago. But the only way you would buy gold for your long term is if you think it's going to revalue. Other than that, I'm not really the biggest fan of gold at 4,000. But then the last guy I told that to, he got a chip on his shoulder, and I motivated him. And now, it went both ways. So I bought gold at 1,300 or like 1,100 an ounce. My silver, I'm in at like 12 to 14. So, and I've held it this whole time. I'm fucking, here, I'll play you a song. Ew, they look disgusting. They're kind of dirty now. But yeah, so gold right now, it's up 50% after going up like, 20% last year. So if they revalue gold, the government, for God knows whatever reason, or if like finance and Wall Street changes their allocation and they go more in gold, then you could get to like 6,000, 7,000, 10,000. Otherwise, without any like major crazy step from here, I like holding gold, but I'm not in the business of telling people to buy shit that's up 50%. So you got to make your own decision. But like I'm telling you, you got to understand why you're buying it, why you want to own it, and then, if you think it's going to keep making a move, are you looking for stability or growth? But even then, I don't know if I don't think you're going to find stability in gold after these types of moves. I think it'll come down to a reasonable price, but eventually, but it's or relatively, right? Let's say like everything goes crazy and then gold stays the same. Maybe it's reasonable relative, but the problem is like, why are you buying it? That's what you got to really start aligning and figure out. Because it's like, if you want gold, why? Because when I bought gold, it was for safety and stability. But now you get safety, but you don't get stability. Right? If something bad happens, gold goes up, dollar gets debased, gold goes up. There's many ways where you get it as a hedge, but it's not stable. because it could move now. It could move in a day or a week what it used to move in a year, or what it would move in 6 months. That's the trippiest part about all of it. Jeffrey says Schumer is effective, should keep his job. Oh, okay. Cool. Well, thank God. Told her gold bracelet. She said she wanted one now, and you thought it was expensive then. I know. All the gold, bro. That's what they're doing. They're cleaning out gold dealers for anybody who kept prices the same. But in a weird way, though, you could get jewelry depending on the gold, or like you could probably get jewelry cheaper than like investment gold. Because again, like a golden eagle has a premium. It's literal U.S. currency. They were quoting $5K for 18 karat, 300 gram gold bangle. Let's see. Jesus. Are you sure? Wait, 300 grams is 10 ounces. Are you sure 30 grams? Because that'd be 1 ounce. But 300 grams is 10 ounces of gold. That's a fuck ton. Like even as a bracelet, I don't know. That'd be like a weapon. That's like brass knuckles. Yeah, 30. I was gonna say. Yeah, but then 18 karat gold has like aluminum and shit in it, or copper. But yeah, like 24 karat is like the highest gold content, and then it's softer. But yeah, if you get the gold, you could always melt it into whatever you want. I know it is, dude. They're I'm surprised the market's open, bro. Literally, it's Veterans Day. They're gonna close the bond market. I think it closes early, but yeah, U.S. stocks are still. We're gonna be here bright and early. Isn't that crazy? They make new holidays. You'll get the day off, and they'll close the market. But Veterans Day, they don't. Like what? That's cold, bro. Bonds and banks. Tactical assault bangle. Well, yeah, it'd be better though. I mean, if you really wanted to get, if you were gonna buy anything in a weird way, like I'm not saying stocks, I'm like a bracelet, gold, jewelry. You're gonna pay, you know, the price of what it's worth, but. And usually, like, depending on what kind of jewelry, it could still depreciate, but, like, I would rather buy that than anything else, like clothes. So, in a weird way, it at least holds its value. It always does. I mean, think about all the people who had. That's what happens. All these people who have like old gold jewelry, they just take it into these places and scrap it or sell it. Yeah, Golden Eagles, I think it's 24 karat, or I think there is some, because it's currency though, it's not full gold. I think 1 or 2% of it is still copper or aluminum for like strength. Boyd Gaming, that one's still running. And then BSX. It's already 9:20, bro. This daylight saving still. I'm getting used to it a little bit. Uber stick, win as well. Or that's just melting. Yeah, Uber's getting volume and a pop. What is it? Arquite, yeah, so 2 candles on Uber. That one's still going. I didn't see anything unless it came over here. Something on Papa John's. But yeah, Uber's starting to run. 2 candles. Back to back. And then Arquite. A couple things. Remember that whole little bounce there wasn't really off anything, and just overall vibe today was better than the last couple weeks. Oh, Barron's is talking about it on the Papa John's one. So they're bringing up the rumor. I guess it hasn't been confirmed or denied because people are still going over it. Like I said, I had one report say they think it's accurate, or they think it's like industry professionals are talking about it, but they can't say it's, accurate. Jeffrey, Senate Democrats waged valiant fight past 7 weeks. They literally starved people to get what they wanted and then complained about it. So yeah, good fight. They're like, I didn't know we were fighting. Why don't you fight for yourself? What the fuck? They're like, thank you for letting us hide behind you to get our elections over with. We're very disappointed you're getting everything we asked for. Terrible. Trupanian. Again, no Uber headline, just moving. You saw some speculation they could be going in with Earth Capital. Nothing confirmed. And just remember, as we talked about it, there's like straight up for like 20 years they've been trying to buy Papa John's. Not Earth Capital, but like these Papa John's buyout rumors, they've literally for 2 decades, and nothing's ever happened. Dawn, there's more names on the high. Let's see the checkup. Dow Jones, 16 green, 14 in the red. Literally one name went green. NASDAQ, 57 green, 45. It was 60 in the morning, but they recovered a little bit there. UGI and PYXS. That one's a little more small. That COG-T, that's the biotech. That was up 100 something. And then SPY, 250 green, 240-ish in the red. Excuse me. Yeah, golden eagles are 91.6% gold, 3% silver, and 5% copper. Fun fact. You better be confident. Petrobras, Petro Brasilia, Uber at CNBC bill launch. Oh, Bill Baruch announcing he bought more. That's what it was. And there you have it. There you have it.
To
It's all talking Delta.
Yeah, I mean, I like where you're going with this. I think the overall comment I would make, whether it's that or just in general, is that this is a very temporary situation. This started last week. It may last another week or two. But once this is done, assuming that we're close to an end of the government shutdown, you've got pretty healthy demand for travel. And when we talk about the K-shaped economy, the upper leg of the K is the one that fills the front of the plane. Delta, in particular, as Surratt knows, has done a very good job of extending the front of the plane and monetizing that.
What do you mean, Surratt knows?
Does he? I mean, could
That's
be
where
private.
Surratt sits.
It's our guy. He could be private, you know.
You know, part of the officers.
He travels with his golf clubs all the time.
Exactly.
Sit with me.
Ship Bob. But part of it's going to be offset in a large part, I believe, is that there's no moratorium on price increases. So with the algos the airlines use to raise prices, you'll find that Chicago costs you, if you want to go front of the plane, as you do, Surratt, it's $2,000. It's ridiculous.
All right,
You
so
took the whole row. So
we're going to take a quick break. That's because no one wants to sit next to White. Exactly. We'll take a quick break. Bitcoin's bouncing back after it's dropped below 100,000 last week. Bill Baruch, I told you he's still with us. He has a move related to that space. I couldn't resist, White. Sorry,
I liked it. I liked it.
Them yogurts at Costco. I think it's for little kids, but I fuck with it. Other than that, bro, back at VWAP, right below open, NASI 1.6, it hit 2%. Russell was up 1 and change, that chilled out. And then Dow and SPY, I mean, SPY still below 1%, but the equal weight, that was not hot at all. Hi, good morning. Atlassian, remember, there's a 13G, but I don't know if that was new or an older purchase. Open doors on the high, too. All right, well, if we start moving, I mean, I would just decide. I think you gotta, it's either we get into the Christmas rally or we still get more bumps until the shutdown shit's over. And then it's really gonna be a debate about CapEx or not, and data centers and all that. But yeah, I think your work's cut out for you. We still don't know though if it's gonna be like last week or not, and I'm referencing the out of the monies and all that. But yeah, I started to move. That's what I'm saying. The next melt up, if it melts up, I don't think it's gonna be on any catalyst. It'll just go. Same thing to the downside. Why so much? Yeah, Uber's going. Just homeboy bought some. They announced it on CNBC. I feel like a lot of these all Canadian. Yeah. I did get some Yakult. I'm a big fan of those. I don't even think it's called Yakult. I just get the Costco ones. No, there's like these little like yogurt pouches. They have probiotics in them, but they're really convenient. Cause that's the thing. If I don't eat in the morning, it'll rip your stomach up sometimes. So it's good now. I've been taking some yogurts and probiotics. Oh, dude, you guys want to know what happened? I explained this to my mom. Like, you know how I kept farting last week? And I kept telling you about it? So, like, I had this thing, bro. I bought this, like, probiotic. And I thought it was a probiotic. But, like, it said gut mobility. I didn't realize it till it was too late. I was like, wait a minute. That's not a probiotic. Like, I think it was a fucking laxative. It was just, like, a fancy way to say it. You know, like, it was like, it helps it move through. Yeah, bro, I didn't realize it. I was like, dude, this is violent, bro. No, I'm not even fucking with. I'll show you. I'll take a picture of it, bro. It literally said gut mobility. I stopped and I read it. I was like, wait a minute. This is, I think it's there to make me shit. Like, that's it. Said, will help you move through digestion. I'm like, oh, fuck. That makes sense. I was like, man. This is woof. I did go poop. I did. Yeah. Dude, I was taking a laxative like every day. I'm glad I read it though, because I ran out of the other probiotic. I was like, oh, and then I finally, like, I read it the first time. I just thought it just triggered differently. I was like, yeah, gut mobility. I'm like, man, just call it makes you shit. Why didn't they just say that? These fancy ass words and shit. Gut mobility. I was glad I figured it out though. Alrighty, still working your way up. So again, I don't think it's gonna be off news if you get it. If we do get something, I mean, we'll call it out and we'll see. But you know, I wouldn't be surprised if you either hit the high or hit the low without any headline. I mean, today, even the last hour, it's already played like that, especially after coming in from, you know, good news over the weekend. Thune urges senators to quickly pass shutdown bill. Emphasize unanimous approval needs to speed the vote. Regardless of stance, not to block relief for Americans who have suffered long enough. So yeah, see if it again, the Wednesday thing got us moving, but I don't know if that was just it. So we'll find out. But Wednesday is a target date if you want any idea. And then Trump is there with Syria, with the Syrian interim president. But I don't know. Wait a minute. Is it that one guy? Is it the one guy who used to decapitate people? Or is that, what country am I thinking? It might be him, bro. Berkshire Hathaway Buffett to no longer write annual report. Says in a letter he's going quiet. Like, ever? Is that part of the retirement? Or is he like, yeah. Interesting. Is it Jolani? Yeah, bro. That's crazy. Opting instead for brief annual Thanksgiving messages, signaling a deliberate step back from company commentary. Well, yeah, I think he's retiring, remember? Yeah, remember, was that beginning of this year or is that end of last year? Some of that sounds familiar. LTO. I'll just flush in. That's great. End of an era, man. So, Chad, you got to step up. It's your opportunity. Where's the next Buffett? I think he's in here now. But you ain't going to get there without holding long, son. You know what I'm saying? Play some offense, baby. Amen. Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Charlie. I forgot about that, too. That was crazy. We've gone through a lot, man. Even I feel like a lot of people passed away. Like, we're just getting old, man. The world. And then we're getting young, too, at the same time. And a lot of I mean, dude, cultures, impacts, behavior. It's been a long time, man. So we're even entering another era of seeing those consequences. It's quite fascinating. Quite fascinating. Did run a good race. It's kind of crazy to think about. Like, you know, again, Buffett too, he didn't really increase his fortune till he was like 45 or something. That's where it started to really go crazy. Yeah, he's had a big career. So same thing with Nancy. I even tried to explain it to my mom. I was like, Nancy Pelosi was in government when Gerald Ford, she worked under Gerald Ford. A lot of people don't know that. My mom's like, who? My mom only remembers like Reagan and Nixon. I think my parents came here under Reagan. But yeah, so it's kind of crazy. Still working your way up gradually. Am I clapped? I don't think so. Hello. You better not get caught with daddy. Man, I need to get all these old school names or old school songs out of my head. Ever since we did that, Chad, it's crazy. THROHII. You're back. This is like right above open, that first candle. Where you melted. No, it starts after that. That's why. I think it took him a while to make $1 million, and then his first $1 billion didn't come until later. I mean, he was in a different era, but now he gets more than, what's it called? Now he gets more than, he makes more in dividends than the CEO of Coca-Cola gets paid. Quite fascinating. I always love that fun fact. A dividend. Chime. Well. You guys have a thing called Philos soon too. And now the SPY's back up. It's really the same shit from the morning. I mean, I guess about now an hour at this point. This all just revolves around the update about Wednesday. You have a target date to hone in on. That Uber's still going. I think this is equal weight moving, to be honest. It has to be. Let's see. A little bit. Yeah, because you're back above. Actually, no, equal weight opened up way stronger. Holy shit. But yeah, there's a lot more broadening out right now. Take a look. High tickers are going. This time, last time we were here, the low ticker was running. So yeah, we'll see. Oh, you better not get caught without it. Ooh, bear. TXG. There was two, so I have a biotech list. It was like ARXT or something, and then there's like one penny stock. I don't know if you want to front run them. All right, man, you're starting to pick up. You're going to get back above the highs. It's matching up perfectly, though. NASDAQ's back up to 2 or 1.9, but then you don't have Microsoft and NVIDIA at the same way. So there's still a little bit more room. Apple's not up at the high, so a couple places switch spots, but like I'm saying, it's still 50-50. You have a lot of room to go in either direction. So let's see. Owner of car involved in Delhi blast has been arrested. I didn't hear about that one. That's coming in now. You recommend Buffett's letter? I will take a look. Yeah, I'm Buffett. Wheezy Buffett. Nah, really, I'm good. Sound like a long-term investment, live under my hood. And I saved the 10 and it's under my seat. Okay, I'm so sorry. How do you guys not have fun? God bless America. One name long, other name term. Dude, I love that song. That was a very good song growing up. I don't know. I told you guys, I can't explain it. I'm just so grateful I was listening. Like, it was bad music. It wasn't, like, good for me. And I'm sure it developed some, like, weird habits. That's probably why I ended up loving these hoes. But it's just like, dude, I'm so glad the music I was listening to was like, get money. All day, bro. Just all day. That's why. I mean, I think I misplaced some other values in the process, but I'm very grateful. So one of you said that. You were like, I was listening you guys listen to like the punk rock shit. That could have turned out bad. You could have ended up like depressed and shit, but you know, it's good. You know, you made it out, man. You made it out. Fab and Juicy J had the blueprints if you listen. Dude, a lot of them, bro. I mean, now granted, they wanted you to move weight, but still. EU eyes banning Huawei from mobile networks of member countries. I mean, see if it affects Apple. Merchants in swipe fee case says proposed MasterCard settlement would involve $38 billion in fees through 2031. Jeez. That's off that little 2%. That's that EU news hitting again. Rivian. WSJ news right there. Berkshire keep Class A stock until investors get comfort with successor. So he is going to dump it. He's going to give it to the charities. But yeah, he's going to wait a little bit. It seems like. Doesn't signal any shift in confidence for Berkshire. Ericsson. Lyft is on the high too. So a couple of things, like I'm telling you, it's starting to broad out here, and like this is a different high. It's different than the morning. The morning we had a different setup. So now I think we've got to burn through the cash open, move some things in, and again, we have our Wednesday look, or our Wednesday target date for, you know, that positive news we started with. So, but see how stuff is moving here. And again, I don't think you're going to get a headline or not, but you will start to get more broadening out. So again, Lyft, high ticker's actually almost maxed out. EU's moving towards forcing members to strip Huawei and ZTE from their telecom networks, escalating security crackdown. Nokia too. Yeah, bro, Nokia and Ericsson. Check news. Switzerland breakthrough to. Is it all Switzerland? I don't know. Check Nokia and Ericsson, both of them. I mean, again, last time you had any reaction on these, it was related to the Huawei shit. I don't see anything on there. I don't see any headline on Nokia. I'm checking Ericsson. Did you guys see anything on here? Remember, keep an eye on this wire too, you guys, because this one just moves so fast and there's so much. But yeah, I don't see anything on there. Is K-Web back up, or let's see? Yeah, K-Web, it didn't hit a wall. That's a very good sign now. So that means you'll either stay pinned up here or it could start to melt up all day. But yeah, the premiums are higher on K-Web still, believe it or not. Those actually never came down. But then watch, the moment they slow down, they will. But just that one moves very interestingly. Walter. Harris as well. Focus on the wire. Be one with the wire. The wire will be one with you. UGL. All right, high ticker's really doing active. Like, it's, look at it, it's almost maxed out. And it's 10 more minutes till the top of the hour. It's not bad. Not bad at all. US and Huawei, yeah, or the EU and Huawei. That keeps hitting. Watch if China or Apple moves off of that headline. Otherwise, equal weight's coming back up. SPY's 2 points off of the high. Again, it's going to open up a couple of levels. Like I'm saying, the breakdown's just a lot better. Or you have a lot. This is a rat. You're now back at this high, and it's just not all tech. Even though the equal weight is lagging, it's just not the same thing as the morning. So I like it. Again, this is all Wednesday. We've popped from there, but you could either chalk this up to that headline. Otherwise, it's been nothing. And then you're back to the morning. So Dow's still 16 in the green, 14 red. NASDAQ 65 green. So that's what I'm saying. You had like another, 10, 15 names flip green on the NASDAQ. And then SPY 270, probably another 20 or 30. So it's subtle, but it's a slight broadening out. I don't even think the equal weight's reflecting it well because so many of those names are down. But yeah, you're broadening out. I think you were just kind of moving around, and now everybody's caught up to the vibe. More confirmation. Things are looking good for Wednesday, and yeah, here we are. Carney will announce major protections on Thursday. They never really had those. They would give you an estimate, but they never really had like a comp map. You just could go see the sales and then go back and compare it. But it was never like, they never did the comps for you. Okay. I know it took less than an hour, but I like it though. It's broadening out because there were so many names that were down. Like I'm telling you, this morning we were at the same level. The fucking high ticker or the low ticker was just gassing. So, but then you were only holding up because like Nvidia and Apple and all of those things are up. So you're looking a lot better now. Tech live under my seat. American Airlines staffing caused delays and cancellations affecting 250,000 customers this weekend. Habibi, so many. Let me see. I'm gonna check the other premiums. Cause remember I told you there's a sweet spot in the morning. Still there. Actually, it's gonna be. I might give you guys one. What? Actually, we only have 3 hours though. All right, wait. If you get a pullback, if you could come back here a VWAP, it's gonna be fucking amazing. And if it continues, but otherwise, you're still cheaper. Even if you're up here, all those premiums are lower. It all just depends on the time frame though. So be careful, my brethren. Be careful. NFL, Netflix, or no, Netflix, not NFL, might take its own video, make its own video podcast. Again, there's still I think it's the last day. Is it the 10th or no? Today's the 10th. I think it's either today or tomorrow is the last time for the split stuff. FCX on the high. What's this? Freeport kind of running. And then SPY as well with a bunch of other names. Even Solar too now. It's very interesting. This is the highest the Dow's been. Now you're back above 2. SPY 1, 2. Yeah, but even that equal weight's still lagging. There's a lot more names that went better. Are you going to bed? Oh, it's 11:07. Yeah, remember? I think we had that in the TYL. Tyler. Whoa, that's actually big. It's a big stock and it's kind of a liquid. 2% day on the long term. I love the long term. And I'm very glad that some of you got your long terms. Not some of you, all of you who's actually stuck with it, man. And I hope you know you ain't seen shit yet, dog. Oh, we got a lot more to do. Oh, yeah, time. Time the secret potion. This ain't magic, though. Even if it's magical. This is all practical. The way they contradict and prove me right is getting satirical. Put me on the bench and lose. I guess it's understandable. Hello from Kuwait. Kuwaiti. Eh? Sky on the high. And then XPEV and PG on the low. Why? Tell me why. Ain't nothing but Batman. Michael Batman. Bruce Berry. Chill, bro. Chill. I have a lot of fun doing it. You have no idea. Did you know that? I really enjoyed the Batman voice. I love you, Michael Burry. I'm not a hater, bro. I get you, brother. I get you. I sit in a room and talk to myself all day, Michael. I thought you would understand me. But no. PBR, they approve a worker strike. I don't know if that was real. My girlfriend showed me it. Did you see that Chilean, like, Miss America? Or, I don't know if it's American. Here, let me see if I can find it. Here, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, bro, you ready for this? Yeah, I think this is real. My girl showed me this. So the Miss World, this, it's like the Miss World, like, kind of like, you know, the beauty pageant. Look at what this this is what this girl did, bro. I love it. Are you ready for this? You may wait. Let me turn it down. It gets pretty intense. Here, this is a beauty pageant. Okay? That's why I was like, there's no way this is fucking real. Look at her, she's very elegant, very elegant. Isn't that awesome? Oh, dude, yeah, right? I did not see that coming. Oh, yeah, bro. I don't, maybe I'll work on one. I don't know, man. I don't think I've ever seen that as like a talent. Like, no, I've heard this song. I've never seen someone do it. Like, that's why it's so funny. All right, well, Spy is ripping. So you have green. You already know what's happening. It's time for Philo. That's it. Let's just get to the Philo before Michael Burry gets mad. Does Michael Burry do like Philo, Michael? Michael! Well, anyways. So yeah, if you want to go to Philo, I will post the link. Please do not join if you don't want to hear it. Because quite simply, it's your fault. That's why. You know that? It's actually your fault. It's like a psychological thing that it's like if someone even gives you the best thing in the world, but it's unwelcomed, you're going to fucking hate it. So it's your fault, okay? But if you want it and you come, you're going to be fucking blown away. So I hope you enjoy it. But it's free for all of you. It doesn't cost you any money. If you want real time, though, you're going to have to pay for that shit. But other than that, I'll see you there. Just click on the link in the chat. And if you want to hear some good stuff, I have a good Philo today. I got a great Philo. Great. So yeah, I'll see you there. Thank you for your time so far. And God bless America. Thank you to the veterans. And shout out to everybody with the long term. Everybody making sure that the trading is serving them. You're letting the stock market work for you, brother. Good work. Way to not gamble it. And you could gamble after you do it. They don't feel me. All right, baby. So have a good day. I'll see you there, and I hope it's welcome. Peace.